Wewe ni Shujaa. Welcome to Kenya's biggest conversation, everybody, wherever you are. Happy Mashujaa Day if you're in the country, and if you're out of the country as well, happy Mashujaa Day. Those in the country are celebrating. Those outside the country, if it's not a public holiday in that country where you are in, yeah, move countries. It may work better that way. Yeah. Move countries, come to this one of ours. Here we are celebrating Mashujaa Day. City Muga, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Say hello to Sister Du.
Sister. Jambo.
Jambo. How are you?
Many happy greetings on this wonderful Shujaa Day.
How are you feeling on this day?
I am feeling Shujaa.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well done.
Because at least there's one day in the year when everybody can feel champion. And
Hero.
This is the day.
Champe.
Yes, this is the day.
Champe. Our Shujaa this morning is Dennis Masinde. He's a very good man.
He is indeed.
He is a wonderful man.
3 thumbs up for Dennis Masinde today.
Yep. Yep. He does much better job than Brian. Okay, so today in the Situation Room, we'll be celebrating heroes. So we'll be reaching out to people who have been identified by, some of our good friends and listeners as this is a hero in the community. We'll be speaking to a police officer. We'll be speaking to a prisons officer who is also a celebrated Kenyan hero. And we'll also be speaking to a medical professional who is also doing great things in the community. This is how we are choosing to celebrate Mashujaa Day today, by identifying Shujaas. And also, we'll want to hear from you. Just think about a Shujaa that you think ought to be recognized, and you can nominate them. SpiceFM KE on Facebook and Twitter, on Instagram. Let us all celebrate Shujaas. A Shujaa is not necessarily, fought for independence. A Shujaa, we have heroes every day in our lives. So who is it that you feel is doing something great, either to you or to your community, and they ought to be celebrated? Can also be just somebody who has touched you at a personal level. You personally. Yeah? In the country, today is the day that we should be having 5.8 million Kenyans vaccinated.
Next.
So how many do you have?
Okay, so let me just tell you
Okay.
how many people have been vaccinated so far. I'm going to start by letting you know again that there are 7.5 odd vaccines in the country that are available, that have been available so far, right? And
They're not. It's not. We don't have 5.7 in stock today.
No. We don't have
Since the first dose arrived.
Since the first entry.
Since the beginning of time.
7.5 million, right? So
Have
that's
touched
exactly
Kenya.
7,502,820 have touched Kenya. Of those, 4,590,725 have been administered. So we're about 1.3 million shy of today. Today is the 20th of October. Today is Mashujaa Day. Today is the 58th. So 5.8. So looking at Kenya in its 58th year is what was being
In December, on December 12th.
yes. However, today was saying, can we get to 5.8 today and mark that as a number? It has not happened. Because we're at 4,590,725. Looking at about 4.6% of the adult population has been fully vaccinated. Of that total number, 35.9% have received the second dose, and the rest have just received their first dose. The day before, we had a positivity rate of 0.9%, the lowest ever in the country. That has risen slightly to 2.3%. 125 new cases found yesterday from a sample size of 5,372. Recoveries at 230, and unfortunately 9 deaths were reported over time. That is what we are looking at. So cometh the day, cometh the hour, it is here. Unfortunately, 5.8. We're not able to reach it, but, hope is held high.
No. I mean, we are still on target. We are doing well. We're on course to hitting today's target.
Of 1.3. Also, it's possible that today, before 6 p.m., 1.3 vaccinations will be done
1.3 vaccine. Yeah.
Million.
Oh, million. Yeah, even that.
I think there's
You
something in
know,
your cup.
he has a point because
Oh, God.
he does have a point. How many millions have we hit so far?
4.5
so,
in 6 months.
So what is one?
so I mean,
In 6 months, we want another 1.3.
what was the
today.
target? What was the target?
Today, 20th of
I understand.
October,
I understand
5.8 million.
exactly, and we had 4 point.
5.
That target, we are closer to it than with the expressway.
That had to find its way in here.
It has to. Today's Mashujaa Day. It's closer than the stadia. It is closer than the tablets,
Tablets. The tablets. Okay.
computer. It's closer.
I even
4.5,
forgot that there was a promise of tablets.
5.8.
It was actually laptops.
Laptop.
See, I give them a discount. So now instead of computer, just tablet.
Bring a tablet.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is closer.
Let's take this break. It's 16 minutes after 6. Are you online? Say hello, and let's say hello back at you. It's Kenya's biggest conversation, the Situation Room. We'll be looking at the newspaper headlines shortly.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Spice up your life. 24/7 around the world, non-stop. This is Spice FM.
I know we're in a society where men have become very lazy. They have made people's daughters become mamafuas. You know mamafua? Yes. That you come to a man's house, maybe you went out or you've come for a weekend. You find all his shirts in his laundry basket.
Yeah.
He was waiting for you to
come and
Are
clean
you
them.
his wife? Including his inner garments.
Right, yeah.
Ladies, stop doing that.
Let me
Those
tell
are
you.
wifely duties, and even some wives don't
That's
do them.
literally what I was about to say. I was wondering, there's even some wives who refuse to do that.
The only way to live your best life is to create a balance between work, love, and play. The Adults in the Room is the only show on radio dedicated to educating Kenyans on how they can stay winning in life and in love. Text the word adult to 22840 to get the latest clips from Adults in the Room directly to your mobile phone. SMS adults to 22840.
When you see someone being jailed, a governor or two or someone who stole, then people will fear. Because our problem is not the borrowing, it's the stealing.
We've become actually a nation of thieves. The only thing we lack is an opportunity to steal.
The guys who quote the Bible and say I'm a Christian and all that, and you know they're thieves. Return what you have stolen 4 times. If you know that you have property or anything that you have stolen, just return and say, my God does not allow me to hold stolen things.
We are also a reflection of you, because you elect us. We don't get into our office by ourselves. We are a reflection of the people who elect us.
We don't want to go to the streets. We have a constitution that enables us, assert our will.
When the legislature are now being taken as hostage by the executive for whatever reason, we are now bound by what they want us to do.
This is just outside the realms of reality. We have impunity written into the DNA of our political class.
How old were you when you learned that Jeshi Lawop is Jeshi Lawop?
The weather with Spice FM.
So this morning at 15 degrees, highs of 24 and lows of 15 today. Looking into Nakuru, partly cloudy conditions at 14, highs of 25. 19 will be the high in Nyeri, where it's raining as well at 16, looking at lows of 15. And in Eldoret, 13 degrees and clear, highs of 23, back down to lows of 13. In Mombasa, light rain in some parts at 24, we'll see highs of 30. While in Malindi this morning, light rain as well at 26, highs of 30 and lows of 25. It's mostly cloudy in Kisumu at 19, highs of 29. We'll see lows of 19 today. And in Kakamega, 16 degrees and cloudy, highs of 27 and lows of 15. Let's look out into Kampala, where it's raining as well at 21. Lows will be 18 and highs of 26. While in Dar es Salaam, it's raining 23, highs of 31 and lows of 22. It's raining in Lagos, no surprise, at 25, highs of 30. And in Kinshasa, it's mostly clear at 23, highs of 31 and lows of 23. Out in Beijing, sunny conditions going into afternoon at 12, highs of 14 and lows of 2. And working into Paris, where it's clear at 16, highs of 20 and lows of 11. London is raining 16, highs of 18 and lows of 9. And in New York, still Tuesday night, 17 degrees and clear. We'll see highs of 19 and lows of 15.
Classic soul, R&B, smooth jazz, neo soul, and nostalgic ballads.
Make some noise. Yeah!
You're listening to Spice FM. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4.
20 minutes after 6, and there are very many people online this Mashujaa Day.
Yes. Ivan Zocalo says, up and doing well, and wish you all happy Mashujaa Day to you, and you, and you. Wa Ebubere Mumias Nikondani and Pango, he says, James Omosa celebrates his late mother Helen K. Omosa, who went to be with the Lord when he was still a young boy and never lived to enjoy the fruit of his hands.
Wow.
Good for you. That is your Shuja, and a good thing to remember. Laban Tanui Kapte. Good morning, and says tuned in. Abut Water is tuned in, as is Beta Ashley tuned in this morning. Okala says, I'm happy, and my Shuja is MP Aseka Miradi, okay, for transforming Kiswero constituency completely. And for the first time, he will be the first MP to go for a second term, not only, but unopposed.
Hey. MP Kiswero constituency. Let me look. Let me ask Google.
Ask Google. All right, as you do that, Gitch says, I nominate the Shuja you featured
Christopher Aseka Wangaya.
Ndio.
Okay.
Gitch says, I nominate the Shuja you featured in the news. He walked from Nakuru to Kirinyaga to attend the Mashujaa Day. I met him along the Nyeri Nyahururu Road and was struck by his determination, passion about his country. Fourth time to walk for the same event. A true Shuja. Indeed. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining on this Shuja Day.
Karibuni. And as we go on in the show today, nominate your Shuja. Let's celebrate your Shujas. Who is your personal hero? You personally. Wewe mwenyewe kibinafsi. Siti Muga.
Yes.
How you doing? You have today's proverb.
Yes.
Good.
I do.
Let's hear it.
And it is a Swahili proverb.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Akuelezae ya mwingine ataweleza mwingine ya kwako.
Uh-huh. Repeat that, Ndu.
Akuelezae kwako.
Ya wengine atawaeleza wengine
kwako.
Ya kwako.
If one is asked, hey God, I've tried.
Okay, let me put it. Anakueleza ya watu wengine, pia ataeleza watu wengine mambo yako. That is now speaking.
If you tell somebody your thing, they will also tell it to somebody else. Something like that.
Put in the third person. A person who.
One who tells
others about
you. About
no one tells you about
others. Will also tell others about you.
Yes.
Voila.
C'est ça, monsieur. Got it.
Do you agree with that?
It's very true.
That's very true.
I read something yesterday that said, if you sit down in the company of those who speak of others, the minute you get up, you shall be the topic.
But everybody, whenever people are sitting there speaking about others.
I know. So now it's also they don't speak about you when you're there.
Normal, yeah.
So when you leave, they will not speak about you.
Of course.
So be careful what you say about others.
You know, it is stated as though when people speak about you, it is of necessity negative.
A negative thing.
Indeed. It doesn't have to be negative.
It doesn't. But
no.
the connotation is that it normally is.
No, but what makes for pleasant discussions are
the
negative things. Yes, especially when you're going through
stuff.
Especially when you're going through a really hard time.
Yeah.
And if you're married and your wife has left you, something like that. Really
juicy
interesting
stuff.
Yes. Or if you're married and the husband has left you, really lovely stuff.
I know, it's nice, huh?
That's the juice of life, all right? People will sit down and talk about others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they'll obviously also talk about you. Mm-hmm. As long as you just don't get to know what they say about you.
Then you're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schadenfreude.
Kabisa, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Sabi.
Kabisa.
So now then, let's look at the newspaper headlines. Remember, you can get access to the Standard e-paper for only 20 bob per day. And as you do that, you get access to this premium content on standardmedia.co.ke. It comes with a free Sudoku daily, free crossword puzzle daily, and also free access to 10 days of the Standard Media archives. What's in the papers?
Well, we're being made to believe that it's all eyes on Uhuru and Ruto today, Uhuru, Raila and Ruto today, and it's being called a test for Uhuru and Ruto on the last Mashujaa Day across, right? And just looking at a day in politics, Mudavadi calls for incentives instead of promises for youth. Ruto takes on Uhuru and Raila and cites betrayal from his boss. 3 Mount Kenya governors endorse ODM boss Raila. Kalonzo, graft has eroded the hero sacrifices. Well, all right. Test for Uhuru Ruto on last Mashujaa Day. So this is the last one of the administration.
And what is this test?
Right. As bitter rivals in Kirinyaga County downplay their differences to make the event a success, attention will be on President Kenyatta and his deputy, who are set to share the podium alongside chief guest Malawi President Lazarus Chakwera. Okay, so, it's like folks are going to be saving face for the camera, but deep down inside, it's going to see what are they going to do as they share the podium for the first time in a long time and the last time as their brotherly administration. So, President Kenyatta will today lead the nation in his final Mashujaa celebration as he counts down to the end of his tenure as president, as bitter rivals in the country unite to make the day a success. Attention will also be at the podium, where the president and his estranged deputy will be sitting next to the chief guest, Malawi President Lazarus Chakwera. The president has a tough balancing act as a restless deputy and expectant populace, especially with regard to pressure to lift the curfew imposed to curb the spread of COVID-19. So there's expectation that he will deliver freedom from curfew today. Tackling corruption, say something about that. Succession politics. Remember that he said, you know what, wait for my signal. So there's hope that maybe he will start to let out the smoke today. All right. A legacy dependent on the Big Four agenda and a unity pledge all come to bear as he leads Kenyans in marking the National Day. Mashujaa Day also comes at a time when the country is facing major challenges from drought, resulting in serious food shortages, a ballooning national debt, and an impending political showdown in the 2022 general election. Cohesion and national unity are featured in the president's previous national addresses, and today's may not be too different. So there's certain things that folks are hoping he will deliver. Tell us who you think it should be that will succeed you, who you think, because, if you say, then we are likely to follow.
Okay.
And how are you going to then operate in the same space as your deputy, for whom you've not been in the same space for a very long time? Will you show face for Chakwera?
Are we in the media curating and presenting a perspective that we think ought to be consumed by the public, or are we reporting what we think the public is thinking about, or have we decided determinedly to ensure that there is a certain perspective that we must continue presenting with regards to the politics in this country?
Maybe all of those.
All of that, because you know what?
Maybe
what
all those things that you've said, put them together, shake them over.
Shaken together. You see, because must this be the scenario that we are seeing? Because there are so many other things happening in the country right now.
Yeah.
Even with regards to politics.
Yeah.
Just politics alone.
Yeah.
So many things happening. That's politics should take center stage in our lives. I understand. I even understand that there are really wonderful aspects of it in this country. We're discussing it at tea time, and I said, that we discuss politics all the time, and that, as our colleague Juan Kevin Matara was saying, that, many Kenyans seem not... The idea of an icebreaker is to play a political clip so that people can now discuss it. Okay? I think when people talk about politics all the time, you don't only demystify it, but you also lower the temperatures when it comes to discussing the thorny issue of tribal politics, because it's something that people talk about every day. So it isn't new. It isn't one of those situations where when it comes up, machetes come out, anger flares. No. But it can't be that is what dominates our discussions on a daily basis, because that much as it is what influences our lives on a daily basis, the solutions to this influence ought to, in my mind, play a dominant part as well. Not the politics, because the politics we get.
Not the drama of it.
Politics we get, we even understand it. And when I say we, I mean all of us.
Yeah. Maybe that's why we like the entertainment. Like you've said many times.
It's an escape route.
It's for entertainment.
Yes. My focus.
Now you want us to focus on the solution.
It's the media I'm referring to. Test for Ruto, Uhuru, Mashujaa Day. It's all eyes. Come on.
I think there's a narrative here being spun, and I do not think it is the media that is doing this, in isolation. There's an expectation of something that could happen today. Maybe the message will not be, for everybody's understanding, but there'll be a clear message to some quarters in politics. Eric, with what happens today.
When I told
you... It could be a subtle message on, just like they're saying here, that running order, so who invites the other. It could be just one mention of a word here or there, just supposedly in passing, but the recipient will clearly get the message.
All right. So,
and maybe these headlines are actually also not meant for everybody.
Okay.
These headlines are a message to certain political quarters.
Okay, Eric.
That today, be very alert.
Be very careful.
Be very alert.
Pay keen attention.
You will get your cues.
Listen to the message.
Yeah.
Eric, do you know what you say? Those are the words of a sage. Someone who can foresee the future and someone who can also understand the past with clarity. However, that having been said, what you've done is you have ascertained a perspective that I presented in this studio when I said we are a monarchy. I am willing to step down and say we're a democratic monarchy, but we are a monarchy.
Yeah.
Why must the naming of a successor dominate this discussion right now? Name the successor. Why? Successor. We elect our leaders.
Yeah.
That's how the narrative goes.
28 minutes to 7, Kenya's biggest conversation. Let's take this break. Yes. So let us celebrate Mashujaa. Maulid says from Nakuru, tuned in. Mashujaa is my aunt who made me to see some 4 corners of the building where people sit with pen and papers in their hands. So the aunt basically paid for Maulid to go to school. Indeed, we celebrate your Shujaa with you, Maulid. Very good morning. It's 27 to 7. Let's take this break, see how the roads are looking like, whether our Shujaas of Kenya are doing their thing.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Spice up your life. 24/7, around the world, non-stop. This is SpiceFM.
Hello.
Halo, umesikia?
Nimesikia nini?
Hujasikia habari? Hebu acha nikuambie. Kile kimetokea.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Don't wait for hearsay. Dial *550*1# to read the Standard e-paper from the convenience of your mobile phone for only 20 shillings from your telecom line, and stay up to date for a reliable source with over 100 years of experience with no additional data charges.
Spice FM.
It's getting hot in here.
Oh, everybody steals. It's better a thief who brings something small back. And I say to myself, there's no better thief. A thief is a thief, period.
All those bribes, how much they're getting per year, how much inconvenience they're causing, as much as you call it a small case, it's worth it to be convicted.
The truth is, we are a tribal nation. Because if we were not tribal, and I want to go back to this, you cannot continue walking around with a mug which is clean outside and it's rotten inside.
We have become a fuliza country. We have mortgaged our country because of debt.
You've got one chef working, and the assistant chef, wakati anatekana koroge unga nini hayuko, anaenda huku na huku.
Classic soul, R&B, smooth jazz, neo soul, and nostalgic ballads.
Make some noise. Yeah.
You're listening to Spice FM.
Somehow, even when there's no traffic, Uhuru Highway still manages to do the thing. We're looking at that Haile Selassie roundabout, going then towards Kenyatta Avenue at the turnoff right there at the GPO. And there's only place in the city today that there's traffic. So I guess Uhuru Highway, congratulations, you are Shuja, kweli. Coming off Mombasa Road, no traffic at all. A little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump around the little diversions around Imara Daima there, but there's really nothing. Folks are not out. But when you do get out, remember, I know the temptation is to go a lot quicker than you normally would because there's no traffic. But today might not be a good idea. Never is. The roads are slippery because of the rain, so you want to be extremely careful regardless of where you're going. Let's take a look at how things open up. Probably going around 8 o'clock is when folks will be getting out from under the blankets. But we'll be back to check and see what it looks like shortly. Talk to us just in case you run into something. SpiceFMKE on Twitter. Text on 40127.
Spice FM, Malindi. Spice up your life. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself.
24 minutes to 7. So as we continue the show, nominate your Shuja and let us celebrate your Shuja with you this morning. Back page of the Nation. The Shuja is Solicitor General Ken Ogeto. He says Kenyans will have to pay billions if they want cheaper power. The expensive power purchase agreement signed between Kenya Power and independent power producers cannot be terminated, according to the Solicitor General. He told the National Assembly's Committee on Energy yesterday that taxpayers will have to foot billions of shillings in damages should the government wish to review or terminate these agreements. The revelation comes just days after the president appointed a committee to implement recommendations made by the Presidential Task Force on Review of PPAs. It had proposed termination of some agreements to lower electricity prices by a third by December. But Ken Ogeto, the Solicitor General, says only 2 PPAs have a termination clause. Some PPAs cannot be terminated or reviewed unilaterally by Kenya Power and can only be terminated if the independent power producer fails to meet their obligations. Kenya Power's unilateral termination will constitute a breach of contract and an act of default, entitling the IPP to claim liquidated damages equal to the total project cost less assumed depreciation. This is in reference to the PPAs between Kenya Power, Enrabai, Gulf Power, Thika Power, Triumph Power, Muhoroni Power Generating. Right? Reality. This was it. From the very beginning. I mean, you'd think. You can't just come and say, oh, that contract we entered.
End it.
No, end it. Oh. No. The investors might have put in those clauses and says, boss, I'm putting in an investment of 20 billion shillings. I'm going to recoup it in 25 years. Now, should you change your mind somewhere in between, you'll pay me for the investment that I've put in. Mm-hmm. And don't give me ifs, buts, ohs, maybes.
Wait a minute. No.
That's a nice perspective, but I have an alternate perspective.
Right.
Not conflicting, just alternate.
Uh-huh.
That the contracts are written knowing very well that at some point they'll be a little difficult to swallow.
Uh-huh.
And that will eventually go to litigation. And where the real money is being made is where we have to pay for some...
To terminate.
Yes, exactly. And this didn't begin today. We are full, this country, ridden with cases of contracts that have been terminated and monies which we have paid. The Exchequer forks out money on a yearly basis on these terminated contracts. You can't tell me it's accidental.
Yeah.
So then the question would be, at the time of contracting, you would expect that there were 2 sides at the table when these contracts were being done.
Yeah.
And that if one side can see the profit that they were to make at the end of the day, they've put in a clause that says, regardless of what happens, then I should be paid. The only assumption then is that the people on the other side of the table would also want to protect themselves. Why would you intentionally put yourself into a contract where you are aware that there could be danger, but you say, it's all right, we relinquish our profits to you. Even if we're going to terminate, please go ahead and take. Come on. Two sides on contracting. It's not one side a dictator in the contract. It's two able-bodied sides.
Let me tell you, if I'm to enter a contract with the government of the Republic of Kenya or any public institution in Kenya,
you make sure it's sealed.
Because of this kind of shenanigans. Let's assume that the contractor actually said, all right, I'm putting up a power plant. It's thermal powered, all right? And I would be producing X number of megawatts per month, and this is what you'll be taking. And then over time, I will build up the capacity. What is to tell me that you'll not change your mind, knowing the government?
You could change your mind.
Yes.
So I'm going to make sure that it is bulletproof.
Completely. If you change your mind, it'll cost you to change your mind.
You know the thing.
Because we see that happening with government. Come on, guys. Oh, we want to enter this, and then someone else comes and says, nah, it's too expensive.
If you look at some of these agreements that we are talking about, we are now, Kenya Power is at the heart of this discussion. Ministry of Health and other ministries have also had similar issues. Now, the constant in many of these contracts, you will hear popping its head up, the Attorney General's office was not consulted. The Attorney General's office did not give consent. They did not do due diligence in ensuring that whatever was required was, whether it was a letter of support, whatever it is that the Attorney General's office does. So essentially, we end up with a contract that at best is lopsided. It's leaning on one side. Do you remember the back and forth about the MES contract, where the CS didn't know?
Yep.
AG, different story. Solicitor General, now a really different story. So you wonder, okay, so where do we stand on this?
Yes.
Every contract that a ministry makes in this country cannot be made without, we've seen they make it, but shouldn't be made without at least the green light from the AG.
From the AG.
Yes. And yet we have many contracts that have been made on our behalf as citizens of this country by our ministries in this same manner and guarantee a problem always arises.
Yep.
That's why I said these things are done deliberately. They're done deliberately.
So somewhere down the road,
you are going to be paying these things. I know of government institutions that have never won a case in court. Never. Never, ever, ever, ever. And you ask yourself, how is that possible? So it's like something is done knowing very well will end up in court. And when you end up in court, there'll be compensation to pay. So the focus is the compensation.
The focus is 5 years down the road.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us one more story before we take a break.
Okay. So, CBK is coming to the rescue of banks. Might take a while. But just looking at business, in the Standard, that the Central Bank of Kenya has decided that it can actually come in and help here. Now, the question that you might want to ask is, are banks in trouble? All right. Well, the Central Bank of Kenya's lending to banks hit 55.47 million in the financial year 2021. It points to the regulator's increased intervention to rescue the lenders from a liquidity crunch. The latest lending under the liquidity support framework introduced 5 years ago is 50% higher than the 36.9 billion that CBK lent out in the financial year ended June 2020. The disclosures contained in the latest annual report shed light on the behind-the-scenes operations to rescue struggling lenders from sinking. The enhanced liquidity support to the banks was despite the sector's overall liquidity standing at 57% at the end of this year, June, well above the minimum statutory level of 20%. This means most of the money is in the hands of the large banks. CBK did not disclose the names of the lenders that benefited from the support, which coincided with the period COVID-19's disruptions increased loan defaults, mainly due to layoffs and salary cuts. However, previous disclosures by the Cooperative Bank of Kenya subsidiary, the Kingdom Bank, formerly Jamii Bora Bank, showed CBK gave the lender 20.96 billion interest-free loan in the year ended December to boost its liquidity position. So it seems that they were having a little bit of a hard time as well. CBK steps in to be able to help the little banks sort it out because the larger banks are the only ones who are profiting or doing all right.
Okay. You said it'll take a while, but it's coming.
The rest of the story.
No, that whole CBK.
The helping is
is it immediate?
Well, they've released the report of who they've helped.
Okay.
Right? But they're declined to say exactly who it has been.
Who has been impacted? Hiya. Then let's take a break. It's 6:45. COP26 is coming up. The conversations are taking place soon when world leaders will be meeting to discuss climate change and what they need to do again to reduce emissions, and they'll make fresh commitments, and then it will be now time to implement again, maybe to review what has been done before, to tap yourselves or pat yourselves on the back, and also just tell others, oh, you haven't done much, you need to pull up your socks. All these conversations that they happen, you also need to know, how does climate change and the climate crisis affect you economically, ecologically, and socially? Now, this Saturday, Olivia Otieno, the Double O Direct, will be hosting conversations to talk about the impact of the climate crisis. A special Double O Direct account with Olivia Otieno this Saturday from 10 a.m. only right here on SpiceFM. It's now 6:45.
Hey, it's getting hot in here. The media has greatly contributed to the moral rot that we experience in this country.
I remember a senior politician telling me, point blank, nobody steals in the field, it's stolen in the granary. So my friend, if you're going to win an election, jipange kwa granary.
I think we are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. Our violator and abuser is also our redeemer in our mind.
The whole political class, the whole political institution is rotten. It is based on ideals that cannot progress our country forward.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself.
Okay, 13 minutes to 7. Kenya's biggest conversation. It continues. So, Mashujaa Day celebrations are taking place at a certain place today. Where are they taking place? Do you know? Remember the name?
You're talking about Kirinyaga?
Uh-huh.
You're talking about the stadium or the area?
The area.
Chief, I've got the first question right.
Yeah.
The second question, ask somebody else.
It's taking place at Wanguru.
Yes.
So Wanguru.
This is what happens when somebody.
Do you know where
knows
Wanguru
the
is?
answer to a question, and then he's asking me to tell him the answer to a question he knows.
Of course, Mashujaa Day is taking place in Kenya. This is telling me that Mashujaa Day is taking place in Kenya.
Kirinyaga. Wanguru.
Kirinyaga is in Kenya.
In Wanguru.
Yes.
You know where Wanguru is?
Kirinyaga.
Actually, I don't.
Wanguru is Mwea. You know where Mwea
I know where
Township
Mwea is. Very
That
well.
is Wanguru.
Mwea, why didn't they just say Mwea?
AKA Gurufani. So it's apparently the same place. And that stadium is basically in Mwea. By the year 2000, when the rice subsector was liberalized and farmers freed from the stranglehold of the National Irrigation Board, it was one big parade of donkeys on a market day. The town then had only one petrol station, one mobile banking outlet, and there were no major hotels. Today, the town has over 7 petrol stations, a similar number of banks, 17 financial institutions. It probably has the highest concentration of border riders in Mount Kenya region. Mwea has also surpassed some older and more established towns on the Nairobi-Meru route, emerging as a popular stopover for commuters who mostly purchase pishori rice, snacks, and a variety of fruits and vegetables hawked by roadside traders. So this place is not somewhere, in deep. It's Mwea.
You pass it. If you're going to Nyeri, you will pass it.
If you're going to Meru, you'll pass it.
Do you know what is interesting when you talk about the border riders? Kirinyaga is an interesting place, I would say. There's a place called Kutus. It's also in Kirinyaga.
Uh-huh.
It was known for an ancient vehicle called 404.
404.
404.
404.
An ancient vehicle called 404.
Yes.
Peugeot.
Peugeot. Yeah, Peugeot is what?
Peugeot.
Peugeot.
Peugeot. It's Peugeot.
Peugeot.
It's a Peugeot. Uh-huh. So why was the 404 popular in Kutus?
It was the vehicle of choice. You found it there, and it would take you to all manner of places. This was long before the Matatu Mania and what have you. But the 404 was not just resident in Kutus. For a long time, Kisumu town. 404.
Yeah.
Popular taxi vehicle.
The 404.
Specifically 404.
Yes.
And there was the sedan version.
Yeah.
And then there was what's the other version called? Station wagon version.
Right.
Now the station wagon version was used for transportation between towns.
That's exactly what used to happen in
Nakuru,
Nigeria. The station wagon.
Nairobi, Mombasa.
But in Nigeria, it was 504. 504 station wagon.
You are aware that the 404 came before the 504.
I know now, but I'm just telling you that it was 504 station wagon.
That's what you know.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
404.
Yeah.
504.
Uncle knows 404.
Clearly, it came before.
Yes.
Please carry on. Where?
No, we are done.
Oh, okay.
Just a story. Just reminding you that if you're wondering where this Mashujaa Day celebration is, if you have been to Meru, you've passed by Mwea. This is where it's taking place.
Got it.
When you hear Wanguru, it's Mwea.
By the way, it's busy.
Very. It's actually become a bustling town.
Busy.
So before or after Sagana? On your way.
Okay.
You know Makutano?
Okay. Now,
You know
if
Makutano?
you continue.
You see the river?
I see it.
See the river?
Eric,
Cross the river.
Eric.
You get to Makutano, branch off. Don't go towards Karatina.
Karatina, Nyeri.
Branch off. There's a place
turn
called
right.
Makutano. Turn right.
Okay.
And you'll be going towards Meru, Tharakanithi, now those areas of Chuka, all the way.
Get it in order. You'll be going to...
Embu.
Thank you very much. That's the order.
Yeah.
Sawa. So there's a little matter of 74 million shillings in an estate. All right. And a devoted house help has inherited this. Woman who has been in a 7-year court battle over employer's vast estate given grant letters to property. One of the objectors who was challenging the house help's claim withdrew his application. Okay. Now, Sarah Jocelyn, 76 years old, an alleged house help, has inherited 74 million shillings worth of property from her deceased employer, British tycoon Richard Ingram Crawford. From thousands of acres of land to shares in a foundation, Jocelyn has now joined the bracket of millionaires thanks to a 7-year court battle that was concluded in her favour. On Monday, High Court Judge, our friend Justice Teresia Maveka, confirmed a grant issued to Jocelyn on the 30th of July 2014 by Judge Anyara Emekule. The confirmed grant issued to the petitioner Jocelyn will remain in force. Nothing pertaining to the succession case is pending before this court, ruled Matheka. She adopted consent by Jocelyn's lawyer Gutu Magana and her objector's lawyer Waiganjo Mwangi. In the consent, Waiganja, who represented Stephen Gatia, one of the objectors, agreed to withdraw an application dated 2017 January 18th, which challenged the grant issued to Jocelyn. The application dated on the 18th of January is hereby dismissed by consent. Parties will bear their own costs. She further vacated an interim order by Justice Anthony Ndungu dated on the 20th of January 2017. The order has suspended the grant issued to Jocelyn. So after all this back and forth hullabaloo, Sarah Jocelyn has inherited this 74 million shilling estate from her former British employer. And she was her house help.
She was a house help.
Yes.
And then there were people who are contesting that will, claiming that, she had forged it, went ahead and cremated this man without anybody's consent.
Yeah, this guy died a bachelor.
He did.
Yes. So who are these people who are now laying claim to this estate?
People
See, others maybe
who
worked
They
there.
also worked in the estate.
Oh.
So how can it be that we were not given and she was? There must be something. So you know what? Let me tell you a little bit more. He died on February 1st, 2014 at the Nakuru War Memorial Hospital. This is Crawford now. Jocelyn has been battling Ngatia and one Quickliff Waiter over the control of the property. Waiter had accused Jocelyn of secretly cremating Crawford's body, after which she allegedly forged his will and used it to fraudulently obtain the grant to administer the deceased property. Waiter's letter to the Commission on Administration of Justice filed in court as evidence stated that Jocelyn cremated Crawford's body without valid documentation. So, all right, after all that, okay, Jocelyn will inherit and value 4,592 hectare land touching the tarmac in Nakuru, Nairobi Highway, valued at 50 million shillings, 1 acre property estimated to be worth 2.6 million. 4 acre property in Lanette worth 17 million. 2 second-hand vehicles worth 350,000. Household furnishings worth 200,000 and 40,000 shillings in a bank account.
This was the estimate of that particular property in 2014.
That's what I'm saying, as of valued in 2014.
In 2014.
Yes.
This house, these properties is all, eh?
But remember, Ngati also claimed that this gentleman who had passed away was his father, Maina's business partner. The importance of having a will. It'll be contested, but at least you have a structure from which, a platform from which the discussion can take place.
Wait, so Ngatia's father was Maina.
Yes.
Maina is alleged to have been a business partner to Crawford.
Yes.
Since 1957.
All right. So and then Maina died before Crawford.
Yes.
So was Ngatia benefiting from the estate before Crawford died?
That is not indicated here.
Okay.
Yes, but I think he was just joining the dots and saying, this is how I have this understanding with this. Now,
he says...
He had a claim to it.
He said that Jocelyn was first a housemaid, right?
Yeah.
Then a secretary who has sought refuge from Crawford, and he employed her. But she used his kindness to disinherit him of his property when he was sick. So she was saying that Ngatia was saying they were all there. They all used to, deal with, operate, manage property. And then this shows up this woman who was given refuge.
And she starts
and then
appearing
she
to
comes and wants
control
be
things.
the queen of the castle.
Importance of a will, you say, City.
And yet this guy had a will. And that is also the center of the discussion.
And this is the will now that's being contested.
Yes, saying it was forged.
The allegation here is that it was forged.
Yes.
Where?
But at least there is a will.
There is a will, and so there
and
is
the
a
good thing
way.
is that at least they have finally agreed to something out of court. They have entered into a consent. They have made some agreement. Okay. Now, you know the gentleman called Okoth Bado?
Yes.
His Excellency Okoth Bado is the governor of Migori County. The Director of Public Prosecutions has been allowed to bring more charges against the governor over the 73.4 million shillings that he and his kin allegedly received as kickbacks from county contractors. Anti-Corruption Court Chief Magistrate Lawrence Mugambi allowed the fresh charges against Obado and his co-accused, saying they were properly filed by the ODPP. In a last-ditch effort to strike out fresh charges, Obado, through Senior Counsel Kioko Kilokomi, faulted the DPP, saying he did not author and file the charges as required under the ODPP Act. The new charges range from conspiracy to commit an economic crime, unlawful acquisition of public property, to money laundering and conflict of interest, among others. So new charges are coming up. I'm still at a loss to understand what this whole process is.
You know, the thing that I think strikes me as being worthy of note is that very many governors in this country, if they were put under the same scrutiny and spotlight, would have similar issues. Because a vast number of governors in this country were ordinary citizens who were not suffering any great deal of poverty, but neither were they wealthy. They are now multi-Kenyan shilling billionaires. And with no notable business that you can say, this business generates this sort of income. So if you do the maths, we know what they're paid. If that scrutiny is afforded very many of governors in this country, the story will be exactly the same.
So why is the scrutiny not being afforded?
Now, my dear man, that is a discussion for another day, is it not?
But today is Mashujaa Day. It's a happy day.
All right. So since it's Mashujaa Day, the reason why one Mr. Bado came to light, the issues of the management of the finance of his county was similar to other governors who have been in the spotlight with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, other governors who have been in the spotlight with the Auditor General. It is the death of a young lady that propelled this particular governor to that particular spotlight. And the case is still in court.
Wow. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are celebrating people and their shujas. Julia says, I am my own hero. I have fought sharks, lions, bats, swam with hippos, and guess what? I'm still standing. You know, we always see you commenting Julia Kagituju. We've never known that.
At the time you're commenting,
wow.
swimming in the Mara River.
Sheesh, man. Fought sharks, lions, bats, swam. With hippos. What do you do, Julie? It's Tarzan.
Maybe he's the KWS of.
Sheesh. Okay, happy Mashujaa Day, Julia. And everybody else, nominate your Shujaa and let us celebrate your Shujaa with you this morning. This is Kenya's biggest conversation, The Situation Room, 8-7 a.m.
Spice up your life. The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
This is Muthui Dennis Aseto. President Uhuru Kenyatta will preside over his final Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kirinyaga County today. In today's celebrations, the president is expected to address a number of issues, including tensions between Kenya and Somalia following the ICJ judgment on the maritime border between the two countries. Many Kenyans are hopeful that he will remove the curfew put in place over a year ago to help in the fight against the spread of COVID-19. It is also expected that the head of state will address the Pandora Papers expose that mentioned him among the beneficiaries of wealth stored in foreign countries. And Malawian President Lazarus Chakwera, who is in the country for 3 days as the chief guest for this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations at Wanguu Stadium in Kirinyaga County. The Malawi head of state is accompanied by First Lady Mrs. Monica Chakwera. Tomorrow, President Chakwera and First Lady Monica Chakwera will be officially received at State House Nairobi by their host President Uhuru Kenyatta and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta. They are expected to discuss matters of common interest between the two countries. Now, as the country observes Mashujaa Day celebrations today, one Kenyan who trekked more than 200 kilometers is expected to grace the celebrations in Kirinyaga County. Stephen Kariuki Mugai started his journey 6 days ago from Nakuru County, despite the fact that the government put a limit to the number of attendees to only 3,000. Kariuki is optimistic that this time his efforts will be recognized after he was barred from entering the stadium in Kisii County after walking to the venue as well.
Nimetembea, nimelala kwa center hii ndio ya tano sasa kuingia Nyeri. Na mimi natembea naelekea kule Wanguu Stadium Kirinyaga. Hata kama Her Excellence Anne Waiguru anaweza nisikia, anaweza niwekea kitu moja, yani anipe nafasi ya kuingia. Mimi nimebeba bendera ambaye ni nchi yangu ambaye naipenda sana.
Whether he'll be granted access, we wait to see. A Nairobi court gave a historic judgment after it sentenced a Nigerian man to life imprisonment for trafficking 22 kgs of heroin worth 66 million shillings. Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyena of the Narcotics Division at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport similarly fined Austin Iguilo 180 million shillings. The man was arrested in early November 2017 along with former employees of Kenya Airways who were being used to smuggle drugs from neighboring Tanzania. As political temperatures continue to heighten and politicians wooing Kenyans ahead of the 2022 general elections, promises have been made. Implementation of Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho's order to remove the tax levied on miraa entering Mombasa County has begun. John Kamanja, chairman of Miraa Traders in Mombasa County, says no truck transporting the goods from Meru County had been taxed. Each truck transporting the goods was being charged a fee of 40,000 shillings daily by the county government.
Inaonekana katika mwelekeo wa siasa, upande mrengo wa siasa ni kama tunatumaini wa Meru kuliko hii pande zingine zote. Kwa sababu siasa sasa, katika siasa mpaka kuwe wahusika pande mbili wanapata na upande ule pande. Sasa tukiangalia upande huu wa Raila Amolo Odinga, sisi wa Meru tumefaidika baada gavana wa Mombasa hali hasa ndio kutangaza hakuna ushuru wote sasa wa miraa, na leo hii tumeshuhudia miraa imeingia bila kulipiwa hata senti yoyote.
Addressing the public in Meru County, Governor Joho issued the directive which he wanted to take effect immediately.
Mimi nimesikiza baba vile ameongea. Anasema yeye akiwa rais atafungua milango ya kupeleka miraa Somalia, Somaliland. Atafungua milango ya kupeleka miraa DRC namna hiyo. Na mimi nasema kwa sababu mnanipokea vizuri, kuanzia leo ile miraa inaingia Mombasa, hailipishi ushuru tena.
Now, intersex people are likely to be recognized in the country if a bill tabled before Parliament is passed. The third sex marker of I could soon be legal in Kenya after a bill to recognize intersex children in law got filed in Parliament. The bill defines an intersex child as one with a congenital condition in which the child has reproductive organs of a male and female as certified by qualified medical practitioner. The bill, sponsored by National Assembly Majority Leader Amos Kimunya, would be a huge win for intersex community who have for so long been struggling for recognition. To sports, and racist soccer fans must be identified and banned from stadiums for life, according to Italian Football Federation President Gabriele Gravina, after several incidents of racism at the start of Serie A season. Napoli defender Kalidou Koulibaly said he was called a monkey by Fiorentina supporters in Florence this month and called on authorities to ban the perpetrators from attending the matches. It came after two incidents in September when AC Milan goalkeeper Mike Migno was racially abused by Juventus fans, and an investigation was opened into alleged racist stunts by Lazio supporters against Milan's Chimoe Bakayoko and Frank Kessie. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Sasseto.
SpiceFM, Nakuru.
Nope, nada, nothing. Well, except Uhuru Highway is trying to compete with nothing today. Uhuru Highway outbound, I guess it's because of the construction that's taking place on the expressway today. And so there's some outbound traffic right after the Bunyado roundabout, then going towards Haile Selassie, that section. Folks are going somewhere today, that's for sure. Everybody else on Gong Road, Valley Road, Langata Road, Jogo Road, coming off Landis Road, General Waruinge Road, the Thika Superhighway, those folks know what's going on and they decided to stay home today. The people who are on Uhuru Highway, I don't know where they're going, but they're going. So that's where there's traffic. A little bit of it today. Apart from that, nothing much rumbling, guys. And if it does, let us know. We'll be able to at least see what's going on and advise you forthwith. SpiceFMKE on Twitter. Text on 40127. Traffic is not a thing this morning. Hopefully it won't be for the rest of the day.
This is The Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Okoh, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latiff, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is The Situation Room. The
It's
only
7
way
minutes
to
after
start
7.
your
This is
day.
Kenya's biggest conversation. Happy Mashujaa Day wherever you are tuned in this morning. It's the 20th day of October 2021. You know, Mashujaa Day used to be Kenyatta Day. Ndu.
Yes, I know that. I remember.
And then now, because of our Katiba, we decided we are removing names of people. So we're calling them Mashujaa.
But you still have Moi Day.
No.
No, we don't.
Moi Day is what?
Utamaduni.
Utahudami.
Utahudini.
Matuhudidi.
What is it?
Start with U,
Uta.
then Ta.
Uta.
Then the rest we can just sort of like plod along as we move on. Uta.
It was briefly Huduma Day. Briefly.
Utahu.
And then now it is
Utama.
Utamaduni Day.
Utamaduni.
Yes.
You can combine those two. Hudumaduni.
Utamuhudi.
It's a tongue twister if I've ever had one. Yeah. So that's
Before
what
you
it
give us the proverb, City, today in history, in 1971, on October 20th, a day like today, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta was given an overwhelming mandate by thousands of Kenyans at Uhuru Park, Nairobi, to hang in public armed robbers and receivers of stolen property.
Receivers, I like that receivers of stolen property part.
Armed robbers and receivers of stolen property hung in public. Mzee, did he actualize that?
No.
He was given a mandate publicly on Kenyatta Day.
Do it.
1971.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, he didn't.
The Mzee thought
he didn't. One of
It's a
the
bit
things
too much.
he realized who he'd end up
Who
hanging.
he might be hanging.
Like,
wow.
It was like he said.
Wait a minute. Moving on.
By the way, the thing you must remember about Jomo Kenyatta, as a child, I remember there were 2 MPs who were arrested because they'd been involved in coffee smuggling. Not only were they jailed, according to folklore, they were given state house duties. So every morning, in those days, we believed that people who were in jail went to cut grass. So they would be cutting grass in State House where the president could see them every morning. And they were assistant ministers. So he could tell them, Nani habari? Mkuleo. Give them a break so that they can chit-chat. But the optics of members of parliament and assistant ministers actually going to jail, this is the point I'm trying to make here. It was significant. But equally significant, this particular president was a very forgiving man in many ways. Yes. Because if he hadn't made or popularized that statement that he supposedly made in Nakuru, well, like it's on record, it's not supposedly, he actually said it, that we will forgive but we will not forget. That is me now summarizing that entire conversation. It was the turning point in many things in this country. It set the stage for people to look at past ills, past wrongs, and say, okay, that is a past.
It was the first TJRC.
Yes. We are going to leave the past where it belongs, then we'll move forward. Yes. The optics were very, very significant.
Indeed.
Yes.
For you to forgive, you must first acknowledge.
Yes. Oh, yes. You have to. This is what happened.
Forgiveness is conditional.
It is.
All right, today's proverb then, City.
Anayekueleza ya wengine, atawaeleza wengine ya kwako.
Anayekueleza ya wengine, atawaeleza wengine ya kwako. Anayekueleza. Say, anayekueleza.
Anayekueleza.
Ya wengine.
Ya wengine.
Ataeleza ya wengine.
Ataeleza ya wengine.
Ataeleza wengine ya kwako.
Ya kwako.
The thing is, we're on a roll here. As long as you've thrown in wengine somewhere.
And
atakueleza. And then there's kwako.
We're doing good. You're doing well.
We're doing good.
It reminds me of that. In fact, I had to Google it. This methali that we used to do in school. Cha mkufuu mwanafuu hu, akila ha. Na cha mwanafuu mkufuu ha, akila hu. That is a problem.
Well, actually, it was shortened in modern terminology. It was atakula hu na hasara juu. I mean, it rhymes a little bit.
Akula hu? What?
Cha mkufuu mwanafuu hu, akila ha. Na cha mwanafuu mkufuu ha, akila hu.
I mean, it's a Swahili saying. The one which puzzled me was bandu bandu uisha gogoni. So, okay, bandu. Gogo, I get the bandu bit.
Who is this bandu?
Me lost.
We were also lost. But food for thought.
Me, I'm still lost with that one of chamkufu mwanafu hu.
Mwanafu shaha ha.
Akila ha. Na cha mwanafu mkufu ha.
Out of all that who and ha,
right.
What remained was atakula hu na hasara juu.
Atakula hu
na hasara juu. Yes.
Okay. So, just looking at this quickly, it's been doing the rounds over the last couple of days, and there have been many things said or not said. So, a scuffle in Nairobi hotel costing the co-founders of a Kenyan fintech company after a video clip of the incident went viral, and they have stepped aside, quote unquote, to pave way for investigations. The clip, which was released on Saturday, shows 2 men in a scuffle with 2 women in the lobby of Nairobi's Ole Sereni Hotel. The men in the video, Edward Ndishu and Paul Ndishu, are twin brothers, are co-founders of fintech company Wapi Pay. The women are unidentified. A statement from the company's board yesterday evening said that Edward, the chief executive, and Paul, the executive director, will step aside pending investigations. Not down, aside. Elizabeth Karaoke, who is the chief operating officer, will assume the role of chief executive on an interim basis. As indicated earlier, Wapi Pay is built on and practices a culture of respect for all its stakeholders, employees and customers, and does not tolerate any form of discrimination, including but not limited to any form of gender-based violence, the statement said. It added that Wapi Pay board commits to conclude the investigations within the next 30 working days. Also, the Association of Fintechs in Kenya, AFIC, yesterday afternoon announced that Edward, who is a board member, had stepped down pending investigations into the matter. The board takes this opportunity to state that it regrets the current circumstances and does not in any way condone gender-based violence or violence of any kind. The scuffle caused early-stage venture capital fund Keppel Africa Ventures announce plans to pull out its investments from their firm. Wapipe was founded in 2019. It's based in Singapore and headquartered in Kenya. Its focus is the Africa-Asia remittance corridor, where it intends to reduce traders' remittance fees by up to 15% of the amount. So, a number of things happening after this video went viral.
What really
Quite
is,
a lot of speculation.
I mean, yes, but what really happened here?
There was a scuffle in a hotel. It was seen to be that one or...
The scuffle bit I get. I'm always concerned about what caused the scuffle. That's the genesis. Everything you're talking about...
Yeah, this is what the investigations are, because in that video, you do not see pre-scuffle. You see just what was happening at that point. And there was a hit here and there. But you don't know the reasons behind why this scuffle was taking place. You do not know how it started. The genesis of the scuffle, we were not privy to, right? Only those who were in it, they're bound by truth, will be able to tell you, which is, I guess, what the investigations are doing right now. We do not know because we did not see it. We do not know.
You know, let me explain to you why I asked this question. Among other things, I remember talking to a gentleman who works with the police service once, a friend of mine, and he told me a very interesting story. He works for the DCI, and he said, you know, one of the things about investigations is you find the oddest of things. He said, when I was a young policeman, I was on patrol and we were called that there was a fight and there was a lady who was being killed by the husband. Because you could hear the woman screaming and screaming, and we knew this woman is about to die. So when we got there, we found the woman sitting on her husband and beating the daylights out of him.
So he was doing the screaming?
As she was screaming.
She was screaming. War cry, kind of.
Yes, she says...
She was screaming, saying unaniua, and she's...
But this guy was on the receiving end. He had come in as high as a kite. He could barely move. So what am I saying? He said, you know, as a police person, this changed my view on certain things once and for all. I said, yes, you will tell me what you're telling me, and then I will want to understand what exactly are you telling me and what are the circumstances that brought about this that you're telling me. He said, we had been taught certain things, but this is what brought it home for me. So here, the screaming is the scuffle.
Yeah.
What happened?
This is what I'm saying, CT. And the scuffle, unfortunately, is
the
end result.
The brothers released a statement.
Yeah.
In an attempt to explain their side of the story, but they did not even give the details. They said, the details are not, we can't give the details because it's an investigation.
That statement is as vague
what
as
we're
vague.
trying to do here is we're trying to manage the situation. In fact, we were the peacemakers.
Right. They were trying to separate the fight, which if you watch the video didn't quite look like that.
No. Again, that statement doesn't make anything clear. In fact, it muddies the waters, if you ask me, because I've read a copy of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You see, the discussion right now is gender-based violence.
Yep.
That's the discussion.
Yep.
It is.
And these two gentlemen are at the heart of it. Yep. Now, my friend, the wrath somebody will face when you are associated with gender-based violence in this country of ours, Kenya.
Globally.
My friend.
Globally. But this is not what we're seeing now.
So you have to sit at home
for
yes.
sure. The investigations have not even begun. There's just a whiff. There's a sniff. Somebody has just said gender-based violence.
That's
right?
it.
That's it.
And you know what is worse?
For that reason, step down from the board, step down from the leadership of the company.
Leadership removed.
The funders actually withdraw the money from the company.
Yeah.
Look.
And before they had total trust in you. Complete.
These two gentlemen are now guilty in the court of public opinion.
Yep. Absolutely.
And we don't even know what really happened, for heaven's sake.
We don't know what happened. This is it.
You know, it reminds me of a time when there's a gentleman called Chomley.
Chomley.
Cholmondle.
Chomley was the one who...
Yes, the son of Lord Delamere. Yes. What was certain, he had shot that person.
Yes.
Or the person had been shot. Let me put it that way.
Yep.
Because he wasn't the only one there who had a gun. Huh?
Right, but Chomley thought he was shooting an animal, according to him.
No.
According to him.
Chomley shot somebody twice, 2 different people twice. The unfortunate thing in both cases, they died.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Circumstances never really took center stage. Didn't. What took center stage was this white colonialist who's shooting black people.
Yep.
Of course. Racism.
In what he claims to be his farm.
Yes.
Which many would have then said he took
And
from
he's
Kenyans.
claiming these people were poachers.
Yes.
And yet,
They were encroaching on his property.
when you read articles that people had written talking about the same thing, it was clear. Poachers, there were plenty of poachers. But aside from poachers, there were very many other issues that had been happening in that particular area. By the time the government of Kenya licenses you to have a gun or several guns, there's a reason why they are allowing you to have that gun. Now, what am I saying? We've heard many, many stories. In Laikipia, did we not hear of a similar story of a gentleman whose farm was raided by herders?
Yeah.
And he went on horseback to go and have a chat.
Yeah.
He was shot.
Right, he was.
Did you hear it taking a racial twist? No.
No.
It didn't. The narrative, again, was twisted in the direction of, yeah, these are the guys who own this land. Yeah, these are the guys who took the land. The thing is, somebody died. So focus. This person, who shot this person? Why did they shoot this person? This person is dead. What do our laws say about these things? What am I saying? The idea of finding people guilty before all the facts are in is a habit we must not encourage.
We must not encourage it. That is true. But why this is just, difficult
And you use
is
a
that
short bit of information that you have.
Exactly.
This is the
very
only information that you
you
have.
have.
It's about a minute long.
Yes,
Yeah.
a minute.
You don't know what happened prior to this.
Yeah.
You don't know what happened after this scuffle that we've seen. You don't know what was happening. There's a lot of hearsay, but you're not sure. And unfortunately, this comes at a time where the entire globe is talking about this, right?
Friend.
We've just come. We are going very closely, very near to. We've just come off, 16 days of activism, going into another one here and there. The gender-based violence situation is not a good one in the country at the moment. So you touch on that, and then it just blows up into something. Look, the thing about this is that the truth is there. We do not know what it is. And I hear what you're saying. I think we often get into a very dangerous position whereby we make judgment without having adequate information.
Yeah, now it's even jumping to the hotel. Oh, now this hotel needs to tell us, why did the guards take so long before they took action?
People are already asking, do we visit this hotel
we
because
visit
they
the hotel or
condone
not?
gender-based violence? I mean, are we going or not? Kind of thing.
The angle of the mob is actually a big one. And as we talk about mob, actually, now, let's talk about this story that is raising the issue of mob and brings it into full focus.
Sure.
Page 10 and 11 of the Standard. It's talking about what we see all the time in Kisii. So, for example, they plotted and set ablaze 4 elderly women as family members watched helplessly. The victims, branded witches, pleaded their innocence, but the attackers could hear none of it. And in minutes, they had been burnt beyond recognition, homes razed, and dairy cattle sold to a farmer a few kilometers away. The police in Marani, Kisii County, have arrested 4 suspects and recovered the 6 dairy cows. Marani Deputy County Commissioner Patrick Mira said the police are looking for more suspects. So, killing innocent Kenyans is unacceptable. So this is what happens. We see these stories all the time. 6 years ago, a video clip was circulated online showing 5 people being burnt in the village of Nyamataro in Kitutu Chache South. 14th of January, 2 elderly women burnt beyond recognition in Omokonge village in Nyamira County. March 2009, 5 elderly people accused of practicing witchcraft burnt to death in Bomatara village. January 2014, Nyangiti village in Kisii South, John Makori butchered, allegedly by his brother on allegations that he had bewitched his mentally ill son. See that?
Yeah.
In a community, simply because you are old, and then one person says, you know what, guys, this is a witch. People just come and they don't want to hear any of it. They burn you, they touch your property, they sell your property. And we talk about this. This is happening in 2021 in this country. So when you see such, and then you see the way we mob against others, just, okay, you see something and you hear something, you're told, you know what happened, there was this. Yes. It doesn't now matter. You basically pass judgment. People are killed for such issues.
Do you know, if you want to understand how it is that mindset and that narrative has very far-reaching consequences, just look at the political landscape right now, and let's look at the rap that former Prime Minister, in this country, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, had in central Kenya. The worst possible rap you could ever have. In fact, he was just short of being the devil incarnate. You now hear politicians saying, we were lying about this. We were not telling the truth about it. This guy is actually... The narrative has now changed. Now, let's talk about something negative about it first. Because of that sort of sentiment, there will be reciprocity. Oh, this is how you treat our people.
Okay. Going to get a chance to say things.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was also accepted that if you came from a certain part of this country, you couldn't go and campaign in another part of the country.
Nope.
But right now that has changed. It has changed. Anybody can go anywhere to campaign. It's a positive thing that we are seeing, and it's a good thing. Now, do we want to encourage a sentiment, a way of doing things that brings about the sort of negativity that nobody really benefits from in the long run? Or do you want to encourage? Because among us, there are always a few crazies who want the worst things in life. There are people who are hell-bent, sociopaths and budding psychopaths and budding all sorts of paths. People whose mind doesn't lend itself to the normalcy that we talk about.
Right. Yeah.
It's a terrible thing. But let me give you another example as we end this. This apathy we have towards mental health. It's apathy because we talk about it, but we don't really seem to care. If we cared about it, if we took, as Kenyans, the interest we take in accumulating money as we did in just that, the willingness to look for every opportunity to make money, if we took just a fraction of that energy into mental health, the changes would be profound.
I'm telling you.
But no.
Tough stuff.
Actually, it's Mashujaa Day, isn't it?
It is Mashujaa Day.
It
It is
is.
Mashujaa Day. We're celebrating Mashujaas. So who is your Shujaa and how would you like us to acknowledge them? You can post this on social media, SpiceFM KE, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Let us know who is your Shujaa and why. Who is your Shujaa and why? Shortly, we'll start celebrating some of the Shujaas that have been identified. We'll start with a police officer who's actually been identified by a community as a Shujaa. And this is a Kisii County Police Commander, Francis Corley. We'll be speaking to him after the break to hear, all right, so what is it that you do? How do you work with the community? How do you engage with the community in policing, in providing security for the community? Later, we'll be speaking to another Shujaa, Catherine Dereba. We all know her. Yes, she is that famous Kenyan runner. She is also a senior prison officer. And also we'll be speaking to a doctor, an oncologist who does a lot of work in the community in terms of just dealing with cancer, the ravaging cancer situation in the country. It's 27 after 7. Who is your Shujaa? Albonya Kwara says, Happy Mashujaa Day. Yes, Happy Mashujaa Day, Albo. Let us know who is your Shujaa. And we'll be celebrating with them this morning. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Spice up your life.
The opportunities are here. Project X, the biggest youth empowerment project in Africa for young creatives, is here. Are you a model, a fashion designer, or a performing artist? Then this is the opportunity you have been waiting for. Register now for the opportunity of a lifetime by following at Opportunities Are Here on Instagram and The Opportunities Are Here on Facebook for more information and the registration link. Online selections begin on the 12th of October and registration closes on the 22nd of October. The Opportunities Are Here is a project by the Ethical Fashion Initiative in partnership with the European Union. Project X is co-produced by KTN Home and Vibes Radio.
Classic soul, R&B, smooth jazz, neo soul, and nostalgic ballads.
Make some noise.
You're listening to Spice FM.
Tengisa kidole. Tengisa kidole, agano kidole, agano kidole, agano.
Thank you.
The political class, the contestants, everybody is trying to outsteal the other.
Remorse is not taught in any school. Manners is something you get from your mother. You don't get it from your political party.
Why are we so unfocused as a country? Why are we spending money and resources, yet we have real challenges in this country?
This coronavirus pandemic should teach us one thing, that universal healthcare is critical. Because at this point, whether you have a medical card that covers you...
The weather.
All right, so still looking at wet conditions in Nairobi this morning. We will see highs of 24 today. Light rain in some parts at 16, lows of 15 today. It's mostly cloudy at 17 in Nakuru. Highs of 25 and lows of 14. Rain showers at 16 in Nyeri. Highs of 19 and lows of 15, while in Eldoret it's sunny. At 15, we'll see lows of 14 today, going to highs of 24. All right, in Mombasa, light rain at 27 rather, highs of 30 and lows of 24. While in Malindi today, it's raining at 27, highs of 30 and lows of 25. Kisumu is cloudy at 20, highs of 29 and lows of 19. While in Kakamega, it's mostly cloudy at 20 with highs of 27. We'll see lows of 15. Kampala is wet this morning at 21, highs of 27 and lows of 19, while in Dar es Salaam, partly sunny at 24, highs of 31 and lows of 23. Lagos, rain showers at 25, highs of 30 and lows of 24, while it's 9 degrees and mostly cloudy in Johannesburg. We'll see highs of 23 and lows of 8. Kinshasa is raining at 23. We'll see highs of 31 and lows of 23. Okay, so Uhuru Highway is still doing its thing this morning, even with the wet conditions in the city. And that is the only road where we're going to have, a lot of traffic this morning. Also, given to the fact that construction continues on that road. But everywhere else, smooth and moving along, free as air. This is the day to walk and see what Nairobi streets look like without traffic. So I don't think we'll see much of that today. That stretch, though, heading towards Kenyatta Avenue, coming from the Uhuru Highway is the only issue that we'll have. Jogo Road a little bit right there at the stadium roundabout, and then just a little bit in the city centre as you're going out then towards Ngara. After that, nothing really. It's a great day to be out in these streets. Remember, it's raining though in some parts, so the roads are slippery. So we're going to ask you to do what? Please be careful. Talk to us should you need to, folks, on SpiceFMKE on Twitter. Text on 40127.
Hey, good morning to you. It's 28 minutes to 8. It's Kenya's biggest conversation. So as we gear up to the COP26 conversations that will be taking place globally next week, Double O Direct this Saturday will be starting off those conversations by hosting people to talk about the impact of the climate crisis to all of us, just bringing it down. So what is this climate crisis? What does it mean to you financially, economically, socially, ecologically? And how can we as individuals contribute towards reducing the greenhouse gas emissions? Yes, those ones.
We're here to help you, don't worry.
Good.
Not the green gas house emissions.
Greenhouse house.
Stay with it, buddy.
Okay. It is the greenhouse gas emissions.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tune into Double O Direct this Saturday from 10 a.m. Now, Mashujaa Day. Who is your Shujaa? What is it that your Shujaa has done that you think they ought to be commemorated, acknowledged, and celebrated today? We are celebrating Mashujaa Day. It's every day we have heroes in our communities, Indeed. People who are doing things in our communities. And this morning we want to celebrate a Shujaa who is a police officer.
Indeed. So a conversation that we had a few weeks ago, a few days ago now, a week ago, we were looking at saying, changing the face of the police service in terms of what they offer and what they do. And we can be having this robust conversation, but even as we're having the conversation, there are people who are doing things in their communities where they've been posted, where they've been positioned to actually make a difference. Francis Colley is one of those individuals, not from words that have come from his mouth, but words that have come from members of the community, people that he works with, people who are in positions of authority over him, have seen the things that he has been doing in Kisii County. He is the county police commander, and he's gone above and beyond the call of duty to say, look, this is the community within which I operate, and I can see that there are different things that are going on here that I can actually do something to help with. We'll hear from him exactly what it is that he's been doing and what has been his motivation to do this. But clearly, the echoes of the good work that he's been doing are ringing through the country.
So the community talks about him.
Indeed.
The community says, okay, you know what? The county commander is one man that we really appreciate and we want to work with. And therefore, we actually have some good relations with the police in the area just because of the actions of
this one man,
the leader. He's on the line and he joins us now from Kisii. Francis Colley, good morning.
Good morning, colleagues. Thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Francis. It's good to have you on the show. Welcome to the Situation Room and happy Mashujaa Day.
Oh, I'm grateful. Thank you for celebrating this man from Turkana.
Very good.
We are the ones who are grateful for having this gentleman with us on the show.
It's rare for people to celebrate the police officer, so for me, it's something.
It's something. Oh, yes. But Sisi, tell us about your work. How many years have you worked in the police service, and when did you go to Kisii County?
Well, I was employed in 1993, and you can guess how many years from there. And I'm just 4 months old in Kisii County. 4 months.
And where were you? Where had you been posted before?
Well, I've worked in several counties, but the recent one was I was working in Siaya before I was moved to Kisii County.
What made you join the police force? Service.
Those days, you have the cattle rustling in Turkana bordering Ethiopia, Uganda, and internally we have conflicts between Turkana and Samburu and Pokot. So having grown in such environment, you see lawlessness, and those who have been brought up in Christianity, seeing this as something evil and you not associating with violence. So that motivated me to join the police to come and see if I'll be part of those who bring order. And that's one of the main motivators. And my mom, who was actually, a Christian, who brought us as kids, Yeah.
Where did you grow up, Francis?
I grew up in Turkana my entire life, and bravely in Kitale, and then go back to Lodo. When we close schools, we go back to visit our uncles in Kitale and go back to Turkana. I think my entire life I was brought up in Turkana.
So the biggest urban area you used to go to in your early days was Kitale. That was like going abroad.
Yeah. By then we used to say natoka Lodo anaenda Kenya. You see, that's the conversation that was.
And when you were joining the police service, you joined as what did you join? The regular police or the administration police?
And by then I was an administration police officer.
All right.
It is through the reforms that we were now moved to the Kenya Police Service.
When you were joining the police service, you obviously knew what the public thinks about the police. As a member of the public, you had your own perceptions about police. What was your own perception of the police before you joined and became one of them?
For us, we having brought up in Turkana, we saw the police, the guys will just arrest you and throw you in custody, and we were just seeing them as people will arrest all the time, arrest. So for me, I saw them like those ones who would pick you for something you've done and take you to face the law. That's what we were seeing, because there were a few in our areas. And then we didn't have like the activities in urban areas in Nairobi, Kitale, Eldoret. It was rare for them, like you see patrols, it was rare for them. Only in the cattle rustling areas you'd see the police actively involved.
So you come to Kisii, which is, I mean, there's so many things that have been said about you, Bwana Sisi. The police officer with a heart of gold. Why are people talking about you like this?
It is. I think it is. Kenyans are very good at keeping records. They go to internet, Google you, they see. I didn't start yesterday from Kisii County. 2011. By the way, I'm a founder of a youth organization called Peace Ambassadors Integration Organization that has peace chapters in institutions of higher learning that is now being run by youth. I left it for youth to run it. I have peace chapters in UON, Mo University, Masinde Muro University, name them, Mount Kenya University. I have these peace chapters that are being run by youth. And in 2011, I worked for blood donation mobilization. I walked for 250 kilometers from Kakamega to Nakuru, raising awareness on blood donation, where I raised 2,863 pints of blood.
Wow.
Having partnered with Kenya Red Cross and the Kenya National Blood Transfusion. And I did another walk when we had these cases of suicide, this rampant case of suicide. From Nakuru, I did a walk to Nairobi via Nyeri for 9 days. I had partnered with psychologists at least to go and talk to people, tell them not to commit suicide. This is not good. We can have some other alternatives on how to solve our problems. You know. I've been going around the country. I've done many walks with youth to Barago, from Marlal to Baragoi for 4 days. I think I've done several, from Sotik to Migori. I've done several from Nandi Hills to Moroni, several walks. And now come to Kisii. I love Kisii because they are hardworking people. You just need to activate them and they are in the game. So they motivated me because of their aggressiveness and hard work.
Right. I mean, you were motivated. It's interesting that you say that you have been motivated, but it's clear that the people of the community maybe regard you to an extent that you really don't understand the way in which they feel about you and the things that you've been able to mobilize to help them. I mean, we talk about fund drives. We're talking about, donation of wheelchairs for those in society who need them. And this is just coming out of your heart to be able to do this, One of the first things you said when we started talking, which was very interesting, that it's very rare for people to celebrate the police, right? From what you're doing clearly comes from your heart. I don't assume that you have a pit of money in your house that you just dig from when you want to use. But it comes from your heart. How do you think this can go then to change the perception that we have, that many have, of the police service?
My sister, I think we've been trained to forget. We've been trained to forget. There are things that in us that come willingly from our hearts. And when we are brought up, we tend to forget that we are there for each other. If for example, SpiceFM, you've seen an opportunity there and they trust you. Even if you request 5 wheelchairs, they will give you because of the trust. You've been doing it before. And they have seen you in public doing great things, even voluntarily. So for me, I do it willingly and not out of obligation. My service has given me an opportunity to offer those services, what I have as an individual, at least to integrate it with reforms in police service, because it is talking of police as a service, a professional service. You're talking of, let me not allow people to go to next shop to look for services that I can deliver quality services. I have a shop called Internal Affairs. I have a shop called IPOA. How do I prevent this? By giving quality services, coming closer to people to trust me. I want to win trust for them to understand me so that we have a conversation. these are some of the things that because of friends outside there, and then you talk to them, can I have this? And they say, we are ready to offer you these wheelchairs for free, and you give to those because, Francis, we trust you've been doing this before. And friends, we're going beyond there. When you have ideas, by the way, God gave me one thing that I know I appreciate, is I'm creative. Yeah. So I come with ideas and they say they're working. I have friends, we can discuss. Even junior officers who have great ideas, and then we see how we can do it. But again, it is something I have been doing it since I think I joined the service, and I enjoy doing it. So what I've done it is about within the reforms to try to make people see a professional service, because those under me emulate what I do. So it's leading by example to do the right thing for the community. I prioritize the community.
When you think about all these things that you're saying, you're mentioning the word service very many times. But also, if you ask very many people what they expect of the police service is, first of all, provision of security. And then we say, so if I come to report a matter, the service that I expect is first a response to my issues. But you go beyond that. You're going and integrating with the community on other matters, on issues of how they are living, neighborliness, the blood drives and all. How do you put those in the same basket as the service that the police are expected to offer?
Well, you see, when you have the community with you, it means you have information about security in the area. That you'll be proactively acting than being reactive. Because you are you are a family. They will just tell you give you information before even an incident maybe becomes worse. So for me, I take advantage of that, being with them, because I will get information prior, and this will help to prevent maybe a crime from happening. And the other thing is, when people see you, like they have reported an incident, with the information you have, you don't just go arrest people without even narrowing to individual who has been mentioned. You don't disturb peace, through your actions. You just go to individuals after getting information from the public, because they trust you. So if you win people's trust and you work with them and they know you, they won't hide you anything. They'll just tell you, what, Francis, what was reported is the story, and this is what happened. And you'll be able now to direct your efforts to that, than just going, you arrest everybody who is found there, the
reason why you hear us marveling is because if you take each and everything that we have been mentioned that as you being involved in spearheading, in many parts of this country, each of those activities involves an NGO, one NGO. So you have gone and combined the activity of something like 5 NGOs or 6 NGOs into one. Now, I know it takes the boundaries of what is possible to a new level, and it's a lovely and a very good level.
Right.
Why is it that other people who are in the same service as you, why don't we have more stories of people who have the power and position emulating and doing the same thing? Because I am certain that within the police service, there are very many other people who subscribe to the same faith as you do.
Change begins with the individual, not many people. You do your part and change others. You don't have to be worried about others.
You put it well.
So in the years that you've done this then, Francis, have you seen other officers who come to you and tell you, Afande, I like the work that you're doing. I'd like to contribute. I'd like you to guide me on how I can also contribute. Have you been able to, let's say, mentor other police officers, either your rank, senior or junior, to join in this kind of thinking?
Well, I have many officers that have been involved. It's only that being in that position, you are the one who is seen.
Yeah.
But actually, I've motivated many, and I've gotten to. Some are going there to initiate anti-jigger campaigns. Some have gone to on a charity. At least they go there, visit orphanage homes. They have been doing this, at least emulating, and actually I'm guiding them on what to do. And at the top level, at the strategic leadership, actually, if you know that you've actually touched them, they are impressed with what you do, they always give you support. For my seniors and my DIGs, what they just encourage me, France, go, you're doing the right thing. You know, those are some of the things that motivate me. You know, it's rare to get that support. That in those years before reforms, where it was those bureaucracies that were there, the protocols, but now reforms have brought you to have a conversation with your leader, where a leader is open to you. He calls you, you call him, and he tells you, France, go ahead, and that's the right thing you're doing. Then when you have that opportunity, then you find that you are doing more than enough.
Francis, your current rank is what? Commissioner?
I'm a commissioner of police.
Commissioner of police is the rank of the county police commander. So when you joined the AP, you went to the training. I assume this is in Embakasi. AP training. How many other trainings have you gone through? Because I'm listening to you, Francis, and I'm wondering, is this a police officer talking?
For real?
In fact, listening to you talk, one thinks that you are probably a PS in one of our ministries, and you're telling us about government policies, and we're saying, yes, those are very, very good policies. Yes.
So after the initial training, how many other trainings have you undergone? And I mean, in terms of capacity building and building your own level as a career?
Well, I've gone the normal trainings courses within the service, at least to be where you are in terms of promotions. You need to have those qualifications. But the ones I've gone to Kenya School of Government on senior management, middle management, and senior management courses. The only course I went outside is for peacekeeping operations in Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only course maybe I would say I've gone outside the country and yes, peacekeeping operations, yes.
Have you actually gone out of the country to be involved in any peacekeeping yourself?
No. I've just gone there, get training on peacekeeping operations and come back. And I took advantage of that and say, wow, it's a great idea where you're brought with journalists and they're told, this journalist is important to you. And in terms of giving the truth about what is happening. So with me, it's easy to work with journalists. It's easy to work with civilians because you are told your priority should be the community. And this journalist, you also make sure you protect him when he's covering, giving news, so that he reports what is so than just distorted information. So I see things differently. When I see a journalist, I think of his or her safety, and they see, sometimes when you see maybe a situation where violence is and a reporter is there, you see that it brings a lot of, police take it positively in terms of understanding the situation and what could be the cause, and also the maybe a decision that can be made to help. So for us, we use it differently and we see things differently. And if somebody see it from that perspective, yes.
We are celebrating somebody who is a hero to many today in the Situation Room. This is Francis Cawley. He's a county police commander for Kisii County. You've been there now, you told us, for 4 months. Before this, you were in Siaya. So let me not ask you about the project that you're currently undertaking in Kisii. Tell us maybe one thing that you did in Siaya where you ran a project, you involved the community, and it bore fruits. Just maybe one case study.
Well, the best that I loved was this school where I bought the entire school with my friends a 2 streams uniform.
Wow.
Yeah, we went there and saw kids need at least uniform. We went there and we bought them uniforms, and I'm thinking that's the best thing I've ever done in Siaya, and I still celebrate up to today.
Primary school or secondary school?
Primary school.
Why did it touch your heart so much?
I'm more to kids because this is the future of our country. And if you start now bringing this a foundation, and they are innocent, and how they see the police is different. And if you change these people, then you have a strong foundation for your country. But now you're going to pick out and get, this, you tell this one, you'll be preempting a crime.
Very good. You start impacting the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that... No, please go ahead.
So Francis, even as you look at, going forward, despite the celebrations and despite us calling you Shuja today and every other day that you do this, what's your motivation then to continue? Regardless of if you'll be in Kisii today, Mandera tomorrow, Kwale the day after that. What is there your motivation to continue wherever you are?
How many people's lives have been touched? That is something that I value. How many lives have I touched through my actions? And when I go home and rest and reflect back and I see, wow, I'm not related to this person. I believe in when you give, you receive at the same time. So that's my principle, and that's motivating me, and that's what is motivating me, my sister. Yes.
It is truly amazing when listening to you as to just how much an individual can achieve when they put their hearts and minds to it. I say this because one of the things that we discuss in this studio very often is we talk about where did the rain start beating us, but then the question is, how do you begin to bring about change? And here you are representing that very thing that we've been talking about, how you can, in your own little way, one at a time, you as an individual, start a process that can actually bring about change.
Yes.
We thank you for the good work you're doing.
Wow.
Very good job that you're doing there, Francis. You also spoke about the work that you've done, looking at the mental health of people and noticing a spike in the number of suicides in the country. And you decided, let me do something about it. Tell us a bit about that. What community was this? What did you see? Did you get to understand why there was a rise in the number of suicides?
Suicide cases, generally, it's about mental issues. And we, for example, if I give you a test, like ask you, what is this, that the behavior that you don't like from your colleague there, you just jump on labeling her and judging her, evaluating her, without actually giving specific issues she has done. Like, for example, you just jump and say she's lazy, but you don't tell me, for example, like I saw her doing 1, 2, 3. That is what will resonate with her. Most of us actually look at, why I haven't done this, I haven't succeeded. For me, I can't do it. I'm useless. We start now attacking ourselves. We don't see the other person being somebody who has a solution and can help you come out of that. We compete as if we are in this world to compete. We are like, when am I going to reach my goals? You see, these are the things that we our brains don't like. Actually, according to what I've analyzed, most of us actually look at survival. When you start surviving, that's suicidal. Just go think rationally. Allow your brain to think. But you are killing that brain that is thinking, and you start now switching to all the time to survive. And in survival, it's about whether you will start fighting, you will start now isolating yourself from people, at least maybe to say, I will look for a solution, which is dangerous. And you'll be full of emotions. So for me, it's about how you learn to be yourself, live your life, whether you don't have what. Today is your best day. Just live, because kama uko hai, what is the problem? Ishi, at kama una nguo.
Very well said. Very well said. Francis Cawley, we celebrate you once again today. And this is not just from the Situation Room on SpiceFM, and this is the entire country celebrates you. As we celebrate Mashujaa Day, you're one of those that are celebrating. Keep doing what you're doing, Francis.
Asante sana.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you, and have a blessed day too.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
This is Kenya's biggest conversation. Don't you just love this kind of story? When we talk about heroes, we talk about people who are in our community, who are working with us, who are seeking to just make a change from their own personal perspective. And people like the county police commander of Kisii, Francis Corley, they are doing that. Let's all celebrate them. In the next hour, we'll be speaking to Catherine Dereba, Kenya's world-famous marathoner, Catherine Dereba. She is one of the heroes. She's done a lot, not just there, but she's doing quite some bit of work in the country. She'll be telling us about that. Keep it right here. This is Kenya's biggest conversation, the Situation Room on Spice FM. It's now 8 a.m.
Spice up your life. The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
This is Newswire. Dennis Aseto. As the country celebrates Mashujaa Day today, several political friends turned enemies will meet in Kirinyaga County. President Uhuru Kenyatta's deputy William Ruto and ODM chief Raila Odinga are expected in Nakuru Stadium amid heightened political temperatures ahead of the 2022 general elections. Kenyans will be eager to witness the conduct of the leaders and their utterances as the country observes this day. The country is also hoping that the president will lift the curfew businessmen and women argue that continue to negatively affect their activities, while at the same time his response to the Pandora expose that linked him to stashed wealth abroad. Meanwhile, Kirinyaga residents continue to queue outside Nakuru Stadium, the venue for Mashujaa Day celebrations today. Despite the number of attendees being capped at 3,000, residents have turned up in large numbers with the hope of accessing the venue, but who have since been turned down. The government sent special invite cards to those who will be allowed to access the venue today. The numbers were capped as a way of controlling the spread of COVID-19. Now, the Kenya National Highways Authority plans to test out the efficiency and security of the electronic toll collection system present on the Nairobi Expressway. The regulator similarly revealed that it has almost completed the construction of an operation and monitoring center that will make it easier to manage the toll collection system once it becomes operational. The China Road and Bridge Corporation was awarded the tender to construct the 27.1 kilometer stretch of road back in June 2020. Tolls collected from motorists using the expressway will be used to cover arrears owed to the Chinese corporation. The Chinese firm will be in charge of toll collection on the road for the next 3 decades. Motorists using the road will be required to part with anything from 100 shillings to 1,550, depending on the distance traveled and the size of the vehicle they are using once the expressway becomes operational. Trans Nzoia County Commissioner Sam Ojwang has given a 45-day deadline to a contractor paving Kitale and Ebe Swam Road worth 4.5 billion shillings to complete the construction of the road in Kitale. Otherwise, his contract will be revoked. Speaking after inspecting the road, Ojwang said he had received numerous complaints from the public and that the road should now be built day and night.
Tunaamrisha pia contract kwamba wakati kazi hii ya barabara inaendelea kutengenezwa, basi ile diversion ambao watu wetu wanatumia pia ifanywe kuwa barabara mzuri, na tumeambia contractor ni siku 45. Tuko serious to an extent ya kwamba tutakuwa hapa usiku na mchana kufanya supervision daily, contractor akifanya kazi.
Timothy Limo, an official in charge of government projects in the office of President Uhuru Kenyatta, said the project was one of the projects in which the government had invested about 25.3 billion shillings in the county to boost the nation's economy.
Kwa sasa hivi tuko na kilomita 31 ya blacktop ile imewekwa lami. Hiyo ni kwa jumla wa 45 kilometers. So we can say we have done almost 60% of the job. What was delaying us is the stretch between kilometer 0 na pale. Ndio imekera raia kwa sababu ya kuleta biashara na kazi zote zenye ziko katika tauni hii. So tumemweleza contractor atie bidii.
Residents of Mdune in Kinango, Kwale County have called on the county government to close a manufacturing plant in the area. Led by Hamida Isaac, they claim their lives are in danger because of the dangerous fumes released by the factory. Residents said efforts to seek help from the relevant government departments have been in vain.
Tulilalamika mpaka idara zote za serikali, tukatuma mabarua, tukapiga masimu, hata Neema tukawatumania barua kuwaelezea vile ambavyo tunaathirika na hii kampuni. Inatoa gas na harufu ambayo ni kali tena sana, hata sisi wenyewe tunashindwa hata kulala.
Yaani ile harufu kishatoka, mwili wangu nasikia tu hali imeshangeuka tayari, na waweza tapika damu, hata pia kukojoa waweza kukojoa pia damu.
According to residents, the factory has not released a report on environment impact assessment test.
Hakukuwa na public participation hata kidogo. Tangu ilipoanzishwa kampuni hii, hakujawahi kuletwa hii environmental impact assessment report ili tuweze kuelewa ripoti hii inazungumzia nini madhara na ni hatua gani inapotokea madhara wataweza kusaidia kumitigate hayo madhara.
Tunachotaka ni kwamba serikali ifanye juu chini, lakini hii kampuni iwe itaondoka.
To sports and women basketball Premier League leaders, Kenya Ports Authority are keen to keep their lead heading into the last stages of the season to earn them the much-coveted home advantage in the playoffs. The Anthony Ojukwu coach side extended their winning streak to 10 matches following the 66-27 drubbing of Eagle Wings at Makande Gymnasium in Mombasa, underlining his agenda in the current campaign. The Mombasa-based side has lost only once this season and is on top of the log with 25 points from 12 matches. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto.
.5 Spice FM, Kisumu.
Yeah, it's looking good. Most parts of Nairobi this morning, not a spot of traffic, except for Uhuru Highway. This highway today wants to compete with everybody. A little bit of traffic, especially there at that Bunyala Road roundabout, then going west. And it looks like it will continue for some time. It's just because of the construction, nothing else. And that's what's causing that traffic there this morning. Other parts of the city, free and clear. The Thika Superhighway is a breeze. Drive into the city in 10 minutes or less. Please be careful, though. The roads are slippery wherever you're going this morning. We're seeing a little bit of traffic coming off onto Wayaki Way. Coming out of Mudhangari, that James Gishuru area. Just a little bit, but again, spilling over onto Wayaki Way. If you're in for a free ride this morning, use the bypass, just because. Not because there's too much traffic, but just because you want to enjoy the scenery. SpiceFM KE on Twitter, that's how you can get in touch with us. Text on 40127. Just in case you run into anything we should know about this morning, do it, won't you?
This is The Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Okoh, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latiff, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is The Situation Room.
It is
the
7 minutes
only way
after
to
8.
start your
Good
day.
morning. How are you doing? Happy Mashujaa Day from wherever you're tuned in this morning. Whether you are in, what is that town called again?
The one
where Mashujaa Day celebrations are taking place.
The one in Mwea, the specific location?
The Mwea one.
The Mwea one?
Yes.
So, Chiefs, is the one you mentioned.
Wanguru. A.K.A. Ngurubani. A.K.A. Mwea.
I have so many AKAs.
The thing is, it depends on who you ask. Because every place that you think you know of and the name you have it, ask locals. They will tell you a totally different story. And they give you a different name.
Yes. Wherever you are, so whether you're there in Kirinyaga County or around the country, in Malindi, Nyeri, Eldoret, Nakuru, Kisumu, Mombasa, Nairobi, or around the world, or you are joining us now live on KTN Home, it's a happy Mashujaa Day and we're celebrating Mashujaa. Let us know who you are celebrating today. SpiceFM KE on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. We will give them a shout out on radio. CT Muga has the day's proverb.
Anayekueleza ya wengine atawaeleza wengine ya kwako.
Anayekueleza ya wengine.
Anaye.
Atawaeleza wengine
ya kwako.
Ya kwako.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo sasa unataka kufanya nini?
Wewe endelea tu kuongea na wengine ambao wanakueleza juu ya wengine, ujue kwamba mwishowe ataeleza wengine juu yako pia.
Okay.
Yes.
Usishangae.
Na wala ikiwa unaona inakufaa, usijizuie kusikiza wengine, kwa sababu itafika mahali wengine pia watasikiza ya kwako.
Sawa basi. Ni sawa kabisa. We're celebrating Shujaas and we're seeing which Shujaa we want to talk to today. So in the previous hour, we were talking to Francis Colley. He is the Kisii County Police Commander. He is a man who's been a county commander in Kisii. He just went to Kisii from Siaya. He's done a lot of work with the community. And he was telling us, man grew up in Lodwar. He saw police. When they were growing up in Lodwar, the police were these people who would come and arrest you. But then as he joined the police service, from the administration police, and then the police service was now then harmonized, and now he's a county commander, he has worked with the community, and he believes that the best way to address security and insecurity is by involving the community, getting the community to trust you, understanding what the community is dealing with, and joining them and participating in seeking solutions to everyday problems in the community. Give us an example of a primary school in Kisii, in Siaya, where he went and he realized that the children here basically just need uniform.
They don't have uniform.
So he mobilized his friends and he said, how can you help me contribute so we can buy uniform for these kids?
You know what that means when he says it didn't have uniform? It isn't that they were not wearing uniforms. What they were wearing were rags that represented uniforms.
Yep.
You could identify some basic fundamental colors, but you could also identify patches. You could identify torn garments. You could identify a ragtag collection of clothing that actually do not represent clothing. They represent rags.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's not to mean that their parents don't like them. Their parents hate them.
No.
It tells you about the situation at home as well.
It tells you. It tells you. What it will also tell you is that very many of these students in such situations you will find go to school barefooted. And this same area that he is speaking of, you'll find is represented by an MCA, and at a larger surface is represented by a member of parliament.
Yeah. There are other community leaders. Yes. But he took it upon himself to basically just do something about it.
Precisely. Knowing the existence of all these, their church organizations, all these things, but he decided, no. This gap is too big.
Yep.
We have to stand in this gap.
Yep.
Yes.
And sometimes that's what it takes. Just show the leadership. So this is what we can do. And if people see, then even the MCA, maybe they were just short of ideas. The church leaders, maybe they were just short of ideas. They were just wondering, okay, there are so many things happening in this community. Where do I even begin? If you show, this is where you begin.
Actually, Eric, you're a really kind person. I am not going to give them the leeway of being short of ideas. No, they're waiting for somebody else to come and do it. That is my view. You live in that same community. When you see people wearing rags, you get to a position where you get used to seeing people wearing rags. So it doesn't occur to you that this is something that ought to be changed. After all, they wear rags. They'll even tell you, but even I went to school with rags. But surely, is that the yardstick? When the Commissioner Francis was telling us about the joy he felt, I listened to that little creak in his voice. I can see.
It's something that comes from deep within.
Yes.
It's not just something that's being done for recognition.
It wasn't functional.
No. It's clear that he's seen that there are many places, there are many situations in society that ought to change. That the yardstick should not be, well, that's how it was when I was going to school. Or that I went to school without shoes. So therefore, everybody who comes after me should do the same thing. No. We must be getting better as we go along. And he's exemplified this.
And he did not say so very clearly when I said, why is it that this isn't exemplified by other officers? He said, no. This is not how you go about it. No. You look at
part.
Yes, that's it really. This is where I am, this is what needs to be done, and this is what I can do. Right. That's what you do.
So we can think about a very bad situation across board, right? And say, well, things are bad, what is it that I'm going to do? And he's exemplified. You know what? That where you are planted. There's a famous song that's called Bloom Where You're Planted, right? Where you're planted in the position in which you are, is there something that you can do to make it better?
Yep.
instead of, this constant foreboding about,
what we need to do is mobilize nationally,
no money in the government,
so that, we go to maybe the police service, say we set up as their fund. No, just start from where you are. And like what I'm saying, City, is that is leadership.
Now that
when you start like that,
now that is leadership.
Then now it motivates others to start saying, "Oh, okay, so this can be done. So this can be done." Others also now join in and join the forces. And it says, with that, when you have the community with you, when you have the community walking step by step with you, then even when there are issues of crime, people are willing to volunteer information. People are willing to help you arrest crime. Big thing. Jonathan Nyinya says, today I celebrate my lovely father, Japunj Boaz Nyinya. You are my hero, Daddy. You always ensure that we grow together as a family and have never failed to unite us despite the tempting situations. I love you, Baba Jonah. Love you, Baba Dorothy. This is to you, Japunj Boaz Nyinya. Your son, Jonathan, says, you're a good father. You are his Shujaa this Mashujaa Day. There's another Shujaa that we want to celebrate. And this is an oncologist. He's Professor Nicholas Abinya Ndu.
So one of the diseases that we've looked at in this country that has really started to ravage the health of many Kenyans is cancer. Probably made its entrance into society maybe rampantly about 20 years ago, and it has gotten worse and worse. The issues that we see surrounding this is that the money that folks have to spend to get better is quite a lot. Professor Abinya is known as the father of oncology in this country. And it's interesting, I spoke to about 4 doctors yesterday, and they said the same thing. People who've benefited because of what he has been able to do. And he said, you know what? I can see this thing is eating our people, literally. And I know that it's extremely expensive, but I'm going to play my part to make sure that we can afford life. And so I'm going to offer up my services for very many for free. And I'm going to say, okay, what can we do together to buy the medicine? But in terms of how I will treat you, I'm not going to charge. What can we do in terms of preventative care in this country? We talk about preventative care so that we don't have to deal with the curative later. He's been at the forefront of this. Healthier eating habits, healthier living habits, and, talking to communities where he is domiciled, but also outside to say, guys, can we go back to how we used to eat? Can we be very careful about what we're putting into our system? Not waiting for government to say, here's a rollout program. Saying, in my position, what can I do to help? And it's not him that has sung this. It's the people who've benefited from the care that he has given, who've come out to say, man, I don't know what I would have done if he had not stepped up to the plate to bat.
Do you know what is also interesting is when you look at it, if you look at, say, the article that was presented in the Journal of Global Oncology, I'm talking about the 2019 edition, August 2019, this country has only 35 oncologists. The numbers may have increased since then. So what it means is, if you're talking about, say, 40 million that you have to cater for, so every oncologist has their work cut out for them. 3,000 cancer cases which you have to deal with. It's a daunting task. It goes beyond the purview of any one person. And when you talk about leadership and the need for people to stand up and be counted, when somebody then takes it upon themselves not to look at the limitations of what they have, but to ask themselves what extra they can do, what else they can do beyond what is required of them. Now, that person then qualifies definitely to
be a Shujaa.
Definitely.
Shujaa Professor Nicholas Abinya. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Prof. And we are celebrating you as a Shujaa because of the work that you've done, and not because of what you have told us. It's because of what others have told us about you. The fellows in the medical profession, people in the community have said, you know what, Professor Abinya has impacted us in a big way. They say that you are the father of oncology in the country. Very, very good thing. Thank you very much for joining us, Prof.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, Prof, tell us about what you do. What are you currently engaged in?
Right now, I run a private practice in oncology at the Nairobi Hospital. I also run what is called the Max Access Solution Program at the Nairobi Hospital that treats specific cancer cases. coming from around the country. We are treating together with a team of oncologists working at the University of Nairobi and the Kenyatta National Hospital. Right now, we are decentralizing the services to the other counties, Eldoret, Nakuru, Kisumu, and Mombasa. We have run this since 2005. It was running at the Nairobi Hospital with the team from Kenyatta National Hospital and the University of Nairobi. Up to now, from now, we are decentralizing it.
What programs do you offer here? What kind of support do you offer?
What we do is patients with specific cancers, different types, chronic myeloid leukemia, gastrointestinal stromal tumors, dermatofibrosarcoma protuberans, kidney cancer, lung cancer, have a foundation in the United States called Mark Success, which provide free drugs, donation drugs, and we treat patients with this also free. So we do a clinic every other Saturday at the Nairobi Hospital. And patients come from all over the country and also from outside the country. Some come from Uganda, Tanzania, though those countries also are now having their programs. And we see them. They are seen free. The pharmacy is free. The nursing is free. The drugs are free.
Wow.
So they just pay for laboratory services and for transport. And during COVID, we were reviewing their files, reviewing the results, prescribing, take to pharmacy, and then the pharmacy couriers the medicines to them. They pay for courier services. And then the medicines are taken back to them. And they take them back wherever they are at home. But now we are doing physical clinics.
Why did you decide to go this route, Prof? I mean, you could have just said, look, I've been practicing, I have mastered this, and I'm just going to continue. Why did you decide that there needs to be an element where people who are suffering then need to get this relief? Why did you do this?
Do this access program?
Yes, where people are coming to access, medicine for free, able to access services, treatment for free. Why did you decide to go this route?
Okay, in the year 2001, a new drug was actually discovered that changed the whole treatment of the chronic myeloid leukemia. This was the first molecularly targeted compound for cancer treatment. And I attended a meeting in the US and we saw the presentations, and when I came back I was very happy, so we wanted to put patients on it, but it was not available and very much out of reach. The cost at that time and even now is 200,000 Kenya shillings per month. So I kept referring patients to the United States, those who could afford to go and get this medicine. So one day, about 2005, I got a call from Kampala, from a foundation that was running this treatment. A foundation had been formed in the U.S. by a lady called Pat Gracia Gonzalez. She was a mother of a young man called Maximilias. Maximilias had died of chronic myeloid leukemia in the mid-90s. And the mother decided to form a foundation that would make sure that people with chronic myeloid leukemia did not die because of shortage of medicine, as her son had done. So I got this call and they told me, look, you send your patients to go and look for this medicine in the United States, but we have an access program that brings this. And at that time, I didn't know that at the Nairobi Hospital, they had identified somebody in the laboratory. And that was Professor Riyat. And that we want you to join so that you can become one of our physicians. So I was called for a meeting in the US, and I found that they were giving this medicine free, very expensive medicine. So I said, well, if somebody from outside there is going to give us expensive medicine for free, then we also have no business charging our own people for getting that medicine. So we are also going to treat them for free. So in the latter part of 2005, we started enrolling patients on this. And now we have in excess of 2,000 patients who have been treated on this program over the years with this medicine. And other conditions have also been included. So we are now treating different types. And my colleagues who worked with me at the University of Nairobi and at Kenyatta National Hospital joined us, and we are doing this treatment, and we are doing it free. For this group of patients.
How many patients?
And the Nairobi Hospital is not charging for these years for it, because they also understand that a service needs to be given.
Professor, how many patients do you see monthly, annually?
With one condition or just all types of cancer?
I want to talk about all cancers.
The number is big. I mean, annually, you are talking about many breast cancers, you are talking about many prostate cancers, you are talking about many chronic myeloid leukemias. Like chronic myeloid leukemia, in a week, you are seeing at least 5-6 new cases in a week. And you are putting on the program, so there are many.
There's a reason why I ask, because with the emergence of new cases, there's always been the issue of mortality.
Yes.
But with the program that you have, I am of the distinct opinion that mortality has since been reduced. So the question I really want to ask is, by what margins have you and your team managed to reduce the mortality rate that we previously had of cancer cases in the country?
Well, if you look at all cancers in the country, we have not quantified the margin with which we have reduced the mortality.
Yes.
But I believe that cancers like breast cancer, these leukemias, prostate cancer, cancers of the colon, rectum, malignant lymphomas, we have significantly reduced mortality.
Yes.
One can say maybe we have reduced them by up to about, let's say, 30-40% from where they were. I had a clip that was saying there was how many oncologists in the country? 25? No.
35.
Right now, there are more oncologists in this country.
Yes.
If we talk about medical oncologists alone, that is internal medicine experts who go and study cancer medicine, we have 15, and those used to be called cancer chemotherapists. That alone. Then we have the group called clinical oncologists. These are the group that do their general degree and then go and do cancer treatment, both radiation and chemo. We have, again, 15. Then we talk about a group called radiation oncologists. Radiation oncologists, again, we have about 10. Those are the ones who do only radiotherapy. But in this country, they also do chemotherapy because of the shortages. Those are 10. Then we have the oncologists who are initially gynecologists, then study oncology. We have about 8. We have 6 pediatric oncologists. Then we have surgeons in oncology. So the numbers are, and then we have oncology nurses. We are now getting oncology pharmacists. So the numbers are getting larger, and in fact, Kenya is the number one country in sub-Saharan Africa, south of Egypt and north of South Africa, with the biggest number of oncologists. I think this is followed by Tanzania. And just to say that, to add that, I started the medical oncology fellowship training at the University of Nairobi, and this is training internal medicine experts into oncology, and that has graduated 8 oncologists, medical oncologists, including one South African. I started a radiation oncology master's program at the University of Nairobi, and this is training radiation oncologists. And I also participated in starting a gynae oncology fellowship program at the University of Nairobi. So the numbers are going up. It's not that we have that small numbers.
And all in no mean measure thanks to all the work that you've done. When they call you the father of oncology in Kenya, then we can clearly see this is what they mean. And we celebrate you this morning, Professor. Professor Nicholas Abinya is one of those that are true Kenyan heroes, and we celebrate you this morning. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Prof, today.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You know, where else do you look for heroes? They're here with us on a daily basis.
The heroes walk among us.
They walk among us.
Yeah.
Yeah, what he's done, he has participated in training, in building capacity, in expanding, increasing the number of people who actually understand what is affecting us, and here the number of patients that he sees on a daily basis.
Did you hear him mention a politician being involved?
No.
Did you hear him mention the Ministry of Health being involved? No. He and his colleagues took the initiative.
It's taking personal initiative and deciding, you know what, I can do something. I'm going to use the space that I've been given to impact and to bring change. These are the heroes that we're celebrating. Let's take a break and talk to other heroes. This is Kenya's biggest conversation, The Situation Room on SpiceFM, KTN Home, and online. Who is your Shujaa today? Let us know. SpiceFM KE on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. 8:30.
This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Spice up your life.
Forgiveness is always conditional. Even before God, there's nothing like unconditional forgiveness.
Government doesn't pay you pension until you retire. In fact, they have no money for you. The day you retire, they look for it.
This country is punishing many young people. These young people are more susceptible to be deceived, to be taken advantage of, and they're more susceptible to be bought off.
Let us also talk about where we want our country to go. You know, we are a population of very young people.
We're in a state of capture. The judiciary is under duress. Parliament is in the pocket of the executive. You don't sit and wait for the regime to topple itself. It will never do so.
By the way, let me tell you, these guys are so persuasive. I'm telling you, they can persuade you to sell your grandmother. I'm telling you, they can sell sand in the desert.
See, has anybody on this program said to you as a guest, say, "Oh, shut up, we don't want to be told what to do"? Has you ever that kind of... Has anybody been
I will not listen.
bit of advice? Because you're working on the premise that we should all pay heed to these proverbs. It's a very suspect notion.
This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day. The weather with
All right,
Spice
we're still looking
FM.
at cloudy conditions in Nairobi this morning. We will see highs of 24 and lows of 15 today. Light rain continues in most parts of the city. At 18 degrees, it's mostly cloudy in Nakuru, highs of 25 and lows of 14. Nyeri is raining at 15, highs of 19 and lows of 15. In Eldoret this morning, it will be mostly cloudy at 17, highs of 24 and lows of 14. In Mombasa, light rain continues in some parts at 26, highs of 30 and lows of 24. And in Malindi, it's raining as well at 28, highs of 30 and lows of 25. Looking into Kisumu, mostly cloudy conditions at 23, highs of 29 and lows of 20, while in Kakamega it is rainy, cloudy actually at 23, highs of 27 and lows of 15. Out in Kampala it's raining at 21, highs of 27 and lows of 19, while in Dar es Salaam it's raining as well at 25, highs of 31 and lows of 23. Johannesburg is mostly cloudy at 10 with highs of 23. Lagos got the memo. It's raining as well at 25, highs of 30 and lows of 24. Kinshasa following in fine form at 23, rain showers with highs of 31 and lows of 23.
If I'm found guilty, there is no problem. I'm willing to serve. I have no problem. Jails are meant for human beings.
They say a society gets the leadership it deserves. If you have a corrupt, crooked and rotten society like we have in Kenya, then of course they will get that kind of a leadership.
I think the president should dissolve parliament.
That's the best solution at this moment in time. Dissolve Parliament.
All of you go home.
Yes, we all go home.
How are we encouraging other people who might have new and creative ideas? Young people who are making money without any government help. They are just buying their own bundles. They are going on TikTok and making money. KRA is coming after them.
I've been in Parliament for 15 years. We have been unable to pass the gender law. And yet no presidential candidate is talking about it now. Because we are fake. The truth is, all the men refuse to vote for that law.
What did Sonko do to Pumwani Maternity Hospital?
Yeah, he
with
cleaned
his
it up.
own money.
Cleaned it with his own money. That was him as an individual.
Yeah. And I did not say he was cleaning his own money. I was saying he cleaned it.
Foot, mouth. Foot, mouth. Eric.
Okay.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
No, there isn't any this morning. It's great. You should experience these Nairobi streets when there's no traffic. It's like a dream. Totally different city. Except on Uhuru Highway. Apparently, they got something that we didn't get. Everybody heading in the direction of the city. So here's an idea. You want to enjoy sights and sounds of Nairobi? Don't go to Uhuru Highway. Use the bypasses today. Use that extra fuel and go round. Uhuru Highway is jam-packed at some parts, especially where the construction takes place. And where you find a roundabout on Uhuru Highway today, you will find some traffic. Everywhere else is asleep. The roads are slippery, so please be extremely careful. We don't want you ramming into anything today. Not for anything. SpiceFM KE, just in case things get sticky where you might be. Talk to us there via Twitter or text on 40127.
Spice up your life. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right.
25
94.4 Spice.
This is Kenya's biggest conversation, the Situation Room. We're here every weekday morning between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. It's an energy sapping show.
My friend.
Talking throughout. That's why we have a heavy breakfast before we get into the studio. And when we are on the show, our friends at Minute Maid have also come to give us an energy boost. So like now I'm having this Fruity Boost, Minute Maid Fruity Boost. Mango juice with a boost of milk and nutrients.
Oh, how about that? To keep you going.
You know what?
Nothing like keeping you going when you're having a conversation. That's
You know what
for
is
sure.
actually strange, huh? I like milk.
You like milk?
I like mangoes.
So put together, it's like a dream
And
in
you
your
like-
mouth.
and you like nutrients.
And you like nutrients.
Well, I do.
So there's magic happening in your
I've
mouth
been
right
told since
about
as a
now.
child that these things are good for you, vitamins
Right.
and more vitamins and so forth. But now, I had never really encountered this milk and mango thing. It does wonderful things to my palate, actually.
Right.
It actually tastes good.
Tastes
So
very
there's a
nice.
You cannot
sensationary...
taste the milk. You cannot taste, but you know that there's milk somewhere there.
A burst of sensation that's good for your body. There you go.
So are you talking to me on my body?
All of you together.
Okay. But what I like about it, though, the infusion of sugar that now introduces that much needed energy at this hour.
Yeah.
Huh? Delightful stuff, this.
Right around that 8:30, right?
Man, 8:30, there's usually a dip.
Nurturing every moment, Minute Maid. And we have, so they've given us to just sample some of the various Minute Maids that they have. There's the Fruity Boost Mango on with boost of milk and nutrients. There's a tropical juice with a boost of milk and nutrients. We've got the Minute Maid Nutri Defenses Nectar. There's a pineapple one here. There's a pulpy orange. There's the apple Minute Maid. When you're packing for your kids, for example, if they're going to school, and you know they need energy constantly. It's a good one. It's a supplement for your breakfasts.
Indeed.
As we celebrate Mashujaa Day today, some of the soil cells, I celebrate City Muga.
Huh?
Well, there's also Ndu and Eric, but it's more of...
Please, go on.
You thought it was just you alone.
No, me, I was wondering, because I don't really know this person.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Son of the Soil, for celebrating us. Who is your Shujaa, and who do you think ought to be celebrated today by you and others in the community. People who live among us, who are doing things. Just imagine somebody who, we've seen somebody said, there's somebody who helped pay for your school fees.
Yeah. An auntie will never forget, for example.
Yep.
And without that contribution from her, you wouldn't be where you are today.
You wouldn't be where you are.
That's heroism, if you ask me. Right there.
And they do, they do it just because I can.
Not because I have to.
Not because I have to. It's just because I can. And there are many people who've done these things for you in life. And you look back and you're like, all right, I really appreciate. Somebody who just opened the door. It's just because they had the opportunity. They opened the door for you. Indeed. And told you just go in. Go in and find what you can do for yourself. But just because all you needed is just that phone call, that phone contact. CT, I have a young man. Would you please see him? That was enough. No, it's an example I'm giving.
And I'm looking at him and I'm
you're
saying,
looking for the young man.
Yes, and indeed, but that really is, that is opening the door.
Yep. Just because he needed to talk to CT Muga, and I have contacts of CT Muga, and just call CT Muga, there's a young man who is looking to do A, B, C, D. Would you spare a moment to see him?
And chat with him. And listen to him.
Yep. Those are our everyday heroes. When we were speaking to Professor Abinya, and you listened to the work that he's done both at the Nairobi Hospital with KNH and other doctors at the University of Nairobi, and that opportunity that came, he says he got a call from Uganda.
Yes, he did.
Somebody told him, there's this family, there's what they're doing, and they're deciding they want to offer. How about? And Professor Abinya didn't think, okay, now I can get this medicine for free. So what I'll do is I'll reduce my fee. Okay. So the doctor's fee now, instead of charging you 100%, I'll charge you 80% because I mean.
First of all, I'm the one who got this thing for free anyway. And if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have known it is free, would you?
But he decided, and in fact, what he said, if we are getting this very expensive medicine for free,
we
have no business
charging
for it to get to the intended beneficiary.
But you know what I actually felt, we didn't have enough time to have. Professor Abinya must come here for a long time.
We need to have him in the studio.
Indeed. What he's doing is phenomenal.
In the studio.
200,000 people having been treated. This is the number that we're talking about. Having been treated. We're not talking about those who are currently in treatment. We're not even talking about those who, unfortunately, God rest their souls, have passed. Those who've been treated, 200,000 people, because one man and his team made a decision.
Yep.
I mean, it's phenomenal.
What really touched me, when you talked about the numbers of people who are being trained in specific specialities, gynecology, medicine, pediatrics, and then training nurses, clinical officers, training an entire cadre of people who work in oncology, opening up units for this specific training. You see, now that is how you work for longevity. That is how you ensure that whatever you're doing lives beyond you. Okay? Now, it's a personal initiative, a step that the individual has taken and said, this is the direction I want this thing to go. And they're pushing. And we thank the university because the university didn't stand in his way. Or if it did, he managed to surmount the obstacles that were in his way.
He found a way through.
And he has continued to plow ahead. If you look at the figures, I was talking about 2019 figures that I got from the Global Oncology Journal, 2019.
Yeah.
And then look at the figures it's giving us now. Yeah. Man, that is not an increase. That's a leap.
It's a leap.
It's a massive leap.
And he's talking about it with such pride.
Yes.
No. Actually, the numbers have increased.
And they keep increasing.
We have medical oncologists. We have clinical oncologists. We have radiation oncologists. We have gyne oncologists. We have
pediatric oncologists. My goodness.
And I have trained.
And I've opened up this unit for this. And we're training in this. But what I loved again is the diversity, bringing other people from outside our own country for that further training.
Yep. Let's talk about another of Kenya's heroes. And this is Shujaa Catherine Dereba. What marathon was this that was taking place over the weekend?
Paris.
And the other one before the other weekend? The other weekend, where Kenyans just did something.
There was Boston.
Right. Yeah. Boston will never forget Catherine Dereba.
No, they won't.
She went there and she was like, you what?
Record.
World record.
Obliterate.
What is this? Chicago will never forget Catherine Dereba.
No.
40. This year, okay, I'm coming.
Okay.
Win.
Next year.
Win. The world will never forget Catherine Dereba.
Do you know?
She has won the World Marathon Championships.
Eric, before Catherine Dereba, Kenyan female marathoners were not really known. Not really. She put that particular discipline and more or less etched it into the mind. The world had known Kenyans to be middle distance runners.
Yeah.
And good at it.
Yeah.
One marathon here and there. But now that one, 4 times, it's etched. You can't remove it.
And that class of runners, they were not just winning once.
No.
Catherine Dereba, Paul Tergat.
Yes,
Catherine Dereba, Paul
Tergat.
Tergat. Shujaa Catherine Dereba joins us on the line. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us today in the Situation Room on KTN. This is a happy Mashujaa Day to you, Catherine Dereba.
Happy Mashujaa Day to you. We are all Mashujaas.
Oh, yes. Some more than others, though. Catherine, you retired from running, in terms of competitive running. But I
Yes.
understand that you still run. You've been running this morning.
Yes, even as you can hear, I'm still walking. I had to stop because I have to talk to you guys.
Why are you running?
I'm running in a suburb of Karen.
Okay. Why do you still
Yes.
continue to run? Why? What for?
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I feel like nothing can part me from running.
Okay.
And my prayer always is that God give me strength that I can be able to lift a leg and put it in front of the other one,
Yeah.
even at my old age.
And that is phenomenal. Seeking
Yes.
strength to be able to lift one leg in front of the other at whatever
Yes.
age. So
Yes.
what do you do then after? Okay, so let's assume that every day nowadays you wake up, you do a run. Then what do you do the rest of your days?
What do I do the rest of my day?
Yes.
Weekdays, I work at the Kenya prisons.
Okay.
I am the current prison sports coordinator.
Okay.
Yes, and my work is to coordinate sports. When I talk of sports, all disciplines. You can name it from athletics, volleyball, football, wrestling, karate. The newest now is rugby.
In prison.
Yeah, in prison. We have a team that we have formed because the pioneer of that team is one of the Kenya Seven.
All right.
It is none other than Lugonzo.
Ligonzo is
Yes.
also with the prisons. Very good.
Yeah, he's with the prisons. We enrolled him in 2016.
Very good.
Yes.
So, as a coordinator of the prison sports, Kenya prison sports,
Yes.
and you're looking at all these disciplines, I mean, that's a heavy load for you. What does it
load.
need you to do?
What it needs me to do, first of all, I have to pray as a role model. And secondly, I have to make sure that we have enough pads to facilitate all those sportsmen and women for their tournament. Yeah. Yeah. Of which it's not an easy task because sometimes, there is no money. Never. I don't think you'll ever have enough money to do anything. But by grace, we are managing.
Sure. Catherine, the times that you used to run, competitively, as you've said, those times have ended. But clearly your influence in the sport has not. Yes. There are many, many young athletes who are still looking up to you today. And clearly you still have, a part to play in their lives as a coach out there. Apart from your day job at the Kenya prisons, you're still mentoring and you're still training young men and women on how they can impact in sport for their country. Why do you choose to do this? It would be very easy to hang your boots and say, you know what, I'm just going to keep fit every morning and do my day job. Why did you decide to continue working with young people?
May I tell you why I decided to keep on working with them?
Yes.
It's because I really wanted to give back to the society. And I knew very well that if there was no one to hold my hand to get where I am, honestly, I could not see the light. And that's why I am still holding my position in a Kenya prison so that I can be able to assist others to become great women and men in this country.
You know, the prison service and let me call it the discipline service in this country have for the longest time housed and employed and been the home of very many of our athletes.
Yes.
Is there something special that the discipline services do that enable athletes to sort of like come up?
Yeah, let me tell you why. In fact, I had to join the Kenya prisons. It was just through an advice from one of the coaches who used to work at the Kenya prison. Originally, when I finished my KCSE, I was really looking forward to join a teaching college and become a teacher. But when I shared my dream, and the coach had seen the potential that I have, he said, well, Catherine, I don't think you'll be able to exploit your talent as much. So just go think. He given me 2 weeks. I had to think about it. And then after 2 weeks, I had to go back to him and I told him what I've decided. Because he told me the only place you can get enough time for training is when you join one of the forces. So I decided that, yes, I want to join the Kenya prison, whereby I'm going to get a coach and I'll have free time to be able to train and to exploit my talent to the maximum. Yeah.
It's worth noting, Catherine, that you're recognized in Kenya, but then you're still also recognized globally for your contribution to the sport. In as much as it's an individual sport whereby you have to keep, working on yourself as an individual, this can clearly spread to other people. What would you like to see in terms of Kenyan athletes? What would you like to see playing on a global stage? And how do you think your current position, even in terms of training and coaching and your still continued, conversations with people on a global stage, what would you like to see for Kenyan athletes and how can you see that brought to realization?
Well, what I would like to see is that the Kenyan athletes, the upcoming, I would like to see them being encouraged from a very early age, that is now, even from the primary level. There are values that would need to be instilled in them so that even as they grow and develop their talents, it is going to benefit them and it is going to benefit the country at large.
Catherine, as you say this, there's about nurturing the other young and upcoming talent, but there's also what we are seeing now. There's a lot of mentorship that's needed, especially as the people now break into that international limelight, as they start making big winnings, and there's a lot of money that they're making, and then how to manage that, how to manage your family, how to manage yourself in this new, the world is different from when you started running, Catherine. So what kind of services do you think young and upcoming athletes need to be given in terms of just mentorship and nurturing them?
Well, the thing that should be done is that they need a mentor from that tender age, as I have told you, and also want to have like a desk. I don't know what our government is going to have or is going to do, but I know it is doable. If only somebody is willing, because the Bible says where there is a will, there is a way. Yeah. So if there is a desk or something can be raised whereby we can have like psychologists and somebody who can really take care of the mental health of our athletes, and at the same time, somebody who can coach them on how to invest and take care of whatever, like financial, literacy.
What would be the best place to have this desk? Is it at Athletics Kenya or the ministry?
Well, I believe it can work from the ministry. Then it will go way down to the Athletic Kenya, because Athletic Kenya is just a body.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, if it starts from the ministry, so now that means that the government has got a hand on it.
That's very true. And then what would be required to just get this thing sorted out? I mean, does it need any law to be enacted? Does it need any change in policy, or would it only need for the head at the sports ministry, the CS, the PS, to say, let's set this thing up?
Yes, I believe it will involve the CS, the PS, and also the head of state.
The head of state
and
as well.
Also somebody else, which is also very, very important. We also need a lawyer who can be able to take care and to help some of us who are going through hell, as you can see now, because of the case of our sister. May her soul rest in peace. As an advocate, because you have seen what has gone through, you know, and if there is a good lawyer who can guide us and guide the family of such, people, it will be very good.
Aside from the
Somebody
prisons,
who is not going to be biased, because majority of people in this country are so biased.
they're in it for something.
Yes.
Aside from the prisons, Catherine, what else do you do in terms of offering your services to the country and to the fraternity of athletes?
What else do I do?
Yeah.
As an individual or what?
Yes. I mean, in terms of, are you serving somewhere as in an advisory role, sitting in a board?
Yeah. I have, apart from what I do personally, like if I have young athletes who want some tips and programs for learning, I coach at my own level.
Yeah.
So I'm not a trained coach. I just train them out of my own experience. And the rest of what I'm doing is that I'm a member of Kenya Sports Academy.
Yep.
I'm one of the directors. And at the moment, I'm chairing the committee for gender welfare. Yes.
That's very good. Somebody sends in a comment here. Monica Kamoyo says, you've mentioned Catherine Dereba. And I remember just last evening, we had a conversation with a colleague, and we said, Nyeri County, in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports, should modernize the Rorengo Stadium and rename it Catherine Dereba Stadium.
Wow.
Campaigns are already starting, Catherine. I mean, you ought to be remembered in a big way, and also people to be appreciated for all the stuff that you've done, not only for yourself. Yep.
There is something that is very, very interesting.
Tell us.
When I was starting my training, my coach took me at Lorengo Stadium, and I could do some kind of speed work, 200 meters times 20.
Wow.
And I had to do them in 32 seconds.
Wow.
If I don't bring 32,
it's not
used
counted.
to tell me no count. It was no count. Regardless of how many I could do, I had to do 32.
Wow.
And if I don't bring 32, he said, just sit down, think, and just tell me whether it is a good day for us to train or not. If you're not going to train today, we come back tomorrow. And we are going to do the same workout. Oh, my God.
And that was in Rorengo Stadium. What year was this?
That was in Rorengo Stadium. So, I have a history with that stadium, and it is wonderful.
It molded you.
It molded me, and it made me who I am.
Catherine Dereba, we celebrate you. We celebrate you for all the good work that you've done and all the good work that you continue to do, and more so, the kind of heart that you have.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
This morning, Catherine, as the country is celebrating Mashujaa Day, we here in the Standard Group, KTN, Home, SpiceFM, and online, we are celebrating Catherine Dereba as a Shujaa.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And I celebrate all the Kenyans because they are also great Mashujaas, because without them, we could not be able to shine. because they were holding us up when we are doing it.
Great words to end with. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Walk back home safe. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you.
You too.
Thank you.
Kenya's biggest conversation. Who is your Shujaa? In the next hour, we want to open up the phone lines. Let us celebrate our own individual Shujaas today. It is 2 minutes to 9 o'clock. We've been live on KTN Home, and we thank you very much for joining us this morning. In the next hour, we will be opening up those phone lines, 0719-012-600 on SpiceFM KE, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and also www.spicefm.co.ke from wherever you are tuned in. If you're in Nairobi, it's 94.4, Mombasa, 87.9, 102.5, Kisumu, 96.0, Nakuru, 96.7, Eldoret, Nyeri, it's 90.9, and Malindi, it's 97.7. A very good morning to you. It's coming up to the top of the hour, 9 a.m.
Spice up your life. The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
This is Newswire Dennis Aseto. Kenyans have started streaming into Wanguru Stadium in Kirinyaga County as the Mashujaa Day celebrations get underway. President Uhuru Kenyatta will preside over his final Mashujaa Day celebrations, where he is expected to address various issues, including the government's stand on the maritime dispute between Kenya and Somalia. Expected is the conduct of political friends turned enemies and vice versa. Deputy President William Ruto and ODM Chief Raila Odinga are also expected to attend the feat. Chief guest at today's Mashujaa Day celebrations, Malawian President Lazarus Chakwera is expected at the Wanguru Stadium in Kirinyaga County. The Malawi head of state is accompanied by First Lady Mrs. Monica Chakwera. Tomorrow, President Chakwera and First Lady Monica Chakwera will meet with President Uhuru Kenyatta and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta at State House, Nairobi. They will discuss matters of mutual interest between the two countries. A Kenyan who walked more than 200 kilometers is expected to grace the celebrations in Kirinyaga County. Stephen Kariuki Muigai started his journey 6 days ago from Nakuru County, despite the fact that the government put a limit to the number of attendees to only 3,000. Kariuki is optimistic that this time his efforts will be recognized after he was banned from entering the stadium in Kisii County after walking to the venue. He is calling upon the county governor, Anne Waiguru, to hear to his plea.
Nimetembea, nimelala kwa senta hii ndio ya tano sasa kuingia Nyeri, na mimi natembea naelekea kule Wanguru Stadium Kirinyaga. Hata kama Her Excellency Anne Waiguru anaweza nisikia, anaweza niwekea kimoja, yani anipe nafasi ya kuingia. Mimi nimebeba bendera ambaye ni nchi yangu ambaye naipenda sana.
He says he is patriotic to the country. Now, Kenyatta National Hospital is expected to undergo rehabilitation that will take 6 months. The management of the hospital said the main goal is to modernize the hospital with 1,800 beds, as well as attract Kenyans who for years have been seeking medical care in private hospitals. Now, WapiPay co-founders Paul and Aidin Dishu will now step aside from their positions at the company after they were involved in a scuffle with women at a city hotel this past weekend. AD currently serves as the company's chief executive officer, while Paul serves as the executive director. Elizabeth Kariuki, the current chief operating officer, will take up the chief executive officer role on an interim basis with immediate effect. The company board of directors in a statement said this is to allow for investigations into the incident involving the brothers to take place. The board further committed to concluding the matter within the next 30 days before making any further decisions. Now, A U.S. House of Representatives committee investigating the 6th January Capitol riot has unanimously supported holding an one-time top aide of ex-President Donald Trump in contempt of Congress. Steve Bannon was summoned to testify before the panel but refused to do so. If the full chamber approves the matter tomorrow, it would be referred to Justice Department, which has the final say on bringing charges. If convicted, Mr. Bannon would face a fine and up to 1 year in prison. Mr. Bannon, a former right-wing media executive who became Mr. Trump's chief strategist, has not publicly commented on Tuesday's vote in 9-member House Select Committee. All 2 Republicans and 7 Democrats on the panel backed holding him in contempt. To sports, and Lionel Messi scored twice as Paris Saint-Germain came from behind to beat RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Kylian Mbappe put the hosts ahead, slamming into the bottom corner on the counter-attack. But Andre Silva and Nodi Mukiele scored from Angelino crosses to put the German side ahead. Messi had a shot tipped onto the post and tapped the rebound into an empty net and then scored a Panenka penalty to win the game. The French side go above Manchester City to the top of Champions League Group A on 7 points. This is Newswire. Dennis Aseto.
.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Okay, it's still Uhuru Highway that's the star of the roads today, and star in this case meaning that it's not going anywhere. There's some traffic on Uhuru Highway this morning and it's not lit up, at least not for now. We're still seeing some of that. But other parts of these Nairobi streets are looking all right. All right, taking a quick look into Mombasa. Not an issue there at all. Everybody is taking it easy this morning and moving west of the city as well, into Naivasha, out towards Nakuru, out then towards Kisumu. Things are looking good as well. Within the city and town, everything is clear. Model day in the week. A little bit of traffic that we're witnessing though. Still here, Uhuru Highway still remains the thing. Apart from that, we're not going to have any issues today. Let's keep an eye on things, however, on SpiceFM KE on Twitter or text on 40127.
This is The Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Okoh, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latiff, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Happy Mashujaa Day. We are on to the final hour. We want to open up the phone lines. Let us look at the heroes in our community. Who would you celebrate as a hero, both from your local level, your personal level, your community level, and international level? Who do you think ought to be celebrated today as a shujaa? C.T. Muga has today's short proverb.
Anayekueleza ya wengine atawaeleza mengine ya kwako.
Anayekueleza ya wengine atawaeleza mengine
ya kwako.
Ya kwako.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
To the point.
To the point.
Mm-hmm.
Today you're liking them short.
To the point. Did you say short?
He did.
Okay.
And to the point. Donkeys are celebrating their heroes today. Okay. Alliance for Donkey Welfare Organizations in Kenya.
Let's pay attention to this.
They're called Brook. They have taken out a full-page advert today in the Standard celebrating their heroes. Thank you for safeguarding donkeys. My donkey, my hero. As we celebrate other human beings, also remember the punda. Punda pia ni shujaa.
Sawa.
Punda pia ni shujaa. Who are you celebrating this morning as your Shuja? 0719-012-600 or SpiceFM KE, YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Ndu,
Yes?
who's your Shuja today?
I think, I thought about that, and you think that every day you have to think of a new one. But I think you always have those latent shuja.
Constant ones.
Who will always be there. If not for them, certain things would not have happened.
Yeah.
Or that without their contribution. And you could have somebody who does something mundane on a daily basis, that if you don't think about it, you could forget, you could really think it as unimportant. But if that thing doesn't happen, there's a domino effect then on other things not happening, right? If this one could be seen as mundane thing does not happen by this individual, then other things don't happen as a result of that. So I think we have constant heroes on a daily basis, not necessarily that do things for you, but their presence is there. And that if you can't bounce off of them, then, you wouldn't be able to.
Okay, so who's your
survive.
hero?
So
you answer the
see,
question.
wait.
Preamble, Baba.
Hey,
Preamble.
man,
This man doesn't understand these
Mm-mm.
things.
Please, carry on.
So I think about the things that I do every day. And if I was not able to bounce off of both of you guys, for example, every day, I wouldn't be able to do what I do on a daily basis. So I mean,
This is why it was
for
heading.
sure, both of you.
Okay, you
Nani, Ebu hold. I know we've heard of donkeys, so hold your donkeys. Nani, carry on with the horses. Yeah. What?
So I think
Man, this thing is building up nicely. Please, go on.
I think of both of you and every day, Monday to Friday, coming to do this, not just talking. But, I think, okay, so if they were not there, then I would not be able to do what I do. So I appreciate both of you. And I appreciate the fellows in the background who nobody really sees, thankless job that is done, that if they didn't do it, we would be in the dark here,
Who are those? Kina John?
Yeah,
John, Brian,
Dennis and Ivy and Brian,
and Jules,
Evusa,
Mumbi, Evusa,
all those people.
Lioto Humphrey.
Yes.
I think they're everyday silent heroes.
I think the difficulty is when you ask someone to mention one hero.
You can't just do one,
No,
can you?
it's not one.
Who are your heroes then, City?
First of all, nataka kutuma salamu. The thing is, I was thinking about it and I was asking myself, what is the order? Okay? And the person whom I would argue, if I were to put in a pecking order, I would even categorize and say my personal life, in my work life. Personal here means what matters to me, not necessarily my family life. Then I would look at my family.
Sure.
That's how I'd categorize it and say, okay, now in this group, and then my friends would come at the end of that particular list, not because they're not important, but I don't see my friends every day. Yes. So they influence my life, yes, and they've influenced it for the longest time. That's why they're my friends. But the immediacy would be what you're saying, the people you work with, okay? The people I work with here, all of them. The people I work with within the RCTB projects in Kemri, okay? See, that interaction builds up to making me what I am on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Then I looked at my siblings and my relatives, okay? And the part that they play, always being the people who tell you, this isn't quite right. And that view of you, as clever as you think it is, it's not really that clever. Consider this and consider the other.
Yeah.
Then I get to my personal life, and my wife, Lucia Ching, has to take pole position because that's the person who puts up with most of my nonsenses. And the person
doesn't
who
boot you out.
No, doesn't actually just corrects you and says, I think you really need to consider this. And I know you don't consider it. But if you consider it, just give it time to ponder over it. And it's that same person who's made me understand that I grew up thinking that marriage was intended for happiness. It isn't.
CT.
No, it isn't. Marriage is not intended to make you happy. No. The primary purpose, from what I have observed with time, is that it makes you grow. It makes you a better person. And the process of growth is never all pleasant. It has pleasant moments, but it is not predominantly. Because most of the time, it works against your natural mien and your natural inclination. It buffets it sometimes, yes, but sometimes it contradicts it. And I have found that the person who provides that on a daily basis, regularly, is my wife. So she is my shuja in my personal life.
C'est très, très belle.
Ah, okay, Lucy. Thank you very much for making this my come here buffeted.
Hey, telling you, if you were not buffeted, I don't know how we'd be surviving every day.
Every day. A good job that you've done. Of course, for me, I look at all those people who have played a key role, who play a key role, like you guys, my workmates, people that I've worked with through time. But today I want to just highlight 4 women. And these are 4 women who have played a significant, they maybe didn't know it, or maybe they did, but they've played a significant role in shaping who I am in my career, in my life. I want to start with the first one, Elizabeth Omolo. Elizabeth Omolo is a veteran broadcaster. She worked at KBC for very many years, and then he went to Royal Media Services. Elizabeth Omolo was the first head of a public FM station in this country. She actually launched Metro FM, and she gave me an opportunity as an intern at Metro in those very early days of the launch of Metro. Played a significant role in shaping and thinking of how radio ought to be, how radio ought to go. Second woman is the late Annika Slingerland. She is the wife to the head of Family Media, Leo Slingerland. Annika and Leo started the first 24-hour religious station in the country, Family FM and Family TV then. And I worked for them. And Annika was also very instrumental, just shaping that thinking of this is how you think when you're running a religious radio station or religious TV station. Third woman is Rose Kimodo. She gave me a job. Rose started the first vernacular radio station in the country, and also the first 24-hour TV news station, and played a very big role, up to date, in bouncing off ideas of her and all, and shaping the kind of direction that media can take and media ought to go to, right? And then the fourth woman that I want to celebrate today is Linda Holt. Now, all these women are pioneers in Kenya's media industry. When you talk about, Kenya's media has grown, we look at it from where it is today, but we forget there are people who actually took the risk. And the people who are taking the risks in shaping today's media were women. First woman to head a public FM station, first woman to own a public private FM station, first woman to open a religious station, first woman to open vernacular station, first person, not just woman. So when you look at media today, as we're sitting here today and celebrating media and the journey that media has taken, it's actually been shaped by women. And these 4 women today are my heroes: Elizabeth Omolo, the late Annika Slingerland, Rose Kimodo, and Linda Holt. So 0719-012-600, who is your shuja today? Wycliffe in Nairobi, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you. Happy Mashujaa Day.
Happy Mashujaa Day. My name is Wycliffe Ogweno. CT, we worked together in our CTP. I can hear him. I mean, he's my shuja.
You're one of the people he has acknowledged this morning.
Yeah, man, he's mentored me. He's someone who's been my shuja even after RCTP days, and I'm really glad to hear him. And one thing he has said that has touched me, that marriage is not meant for happiness. That is a new one. That's a new one.
I have there's many of you like this morning, Wycliffe, who've now had a eureka moment after CT has said this.
Yeah. That's very new, and I mean, coming to think of it, I get the sense it's meant for growth. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, that's CT. That's why you are mentor, you and you are shuja.
Wycliffe, it's very nice to hear your voice, and it's very nice to know you're alive and well. Where are you at the moment?
I'm in Nairobi.
Then you and I must touch base, my brother. It is really good of you, and thank you very much for your kind words.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Wycliffe.
Yes.
So, your shuja today is one Mr. C.T. Muga.
Mr. City Muga.
Bwana Muga, hewa juice na bill ya Wycliffe. Thank you very much, Wycliffe.
Thank you so much, guys, and you guys are doing a good job.
Asante, asante sana. 0719-012-600. 0719-012-600. Who are your shujas today? People are saying things.
Right. Dorcas Kimother says, Latif Jamani. I was waiting anxiously for the 4 names. 2 are conspicuously missing.
From the 4?
Hey.
So Dorcas only had me say 2?
No. She was waiting for some 2 which she didn't hear. Now maybe she just needs to be a little bit more clear and tell us, which are the 2 that she wanted to hear that you should now have said.
Sawa.
Okay, hearing from other folks this morning. Anne says, you're my heroes, my beloved dad, dear uncle, Ojiloto, elder brothers and sister, Kefa, Dan, Millie, Bila, Kusahao, my dearest mom, the late Agnes. This is interesting because parents who play a role, who did what they do for their children, but then also those who stepped in a parental role, because if they didn't do it, the individuals who celebrate them today would not exist, you know? If somebody didn't step in to pay school fees, if somebody didn't take you in at the demise of parents and things like that, you wouldn't have a chance at life, right? If somebody didn't step in and do that pivotal thing, that without which you would not have been able to go to the next step, whether it was paying school fees, whether it was buying a pair of shoes at that time, whether it was giving you bus fare to get from point A to point B, which you needed at that point.
Yep.
Because then things turned because that opportunity was created.
You know, it's
without which
it's odd you should say that. Because I managed to move from a career in teaching when I was a headmaster into research because, again, women play such an important role because of one woman. Her name is, she's now Professor Elizabeth Bukusi, but she was at an earlier point in her life, Elizabeth Ann Muga, my younger sister. She then introduced me to the world of research. And this RCTP Cambridge that you hear me speaking of, she has headed it for the longest time.
Right.
So, one little decision.
Right.
And I would argue that if I had never left teaching and gotten into research, I probably wouldn't even have gotten married. I did not consider marriage to be that important.
Until you did some research around marriage. Talk to your Baba in Nairobi. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you today? Happy Mashujaa Day.
I'm fine, thank you.
Who is your Shujaa today?
Baba.
Which Baba?
Kenya, the 5th president of Kenya. Kenya is Maro.
The 5th president.
Okay. Yes. This in Mount Kenya today, Baba. Baba is there. So I'm celebrating Baba. And also I bought a suit of more than 1K to celebrate that day before and after 2020 general election.
You already have a suit ready for his inauguration.
Oh, yeah.
So you believe that Raila Odinga will be the next president?
I think the state house and you will see now what the leadership entails in Kenya is Mara.
Thank you. Okay. Toto Baba. Omar in Kinango, good morning. Omar. What's up? 0719-012-600. Who is your hero today? Who is your Shujaa as we're celebrating this Mashujaa Day? Mutuma Marimba says, okay, now we're talking about donkeys, yeah? You know, Punda ni Shujaa in Moya, Kirinyaga County. They should do a march past at the celebrations.
You know, it sounds humorous, but what he's saying is true.
That's true. If you go to Moya, you will find many donkeys.
Believe me, where people think and talk of pickups,
they're donkeys.
Yes, but they do the same thing as
they do the work.
A little slower.
Yeah, but they do the work essentially.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Hawa ndio uti wa mgongo wa county ya Kirinyaga. Actually, that's something that the governor and the government could have done.
Yes, they could have.
Well, they didn't even have tickets, so they couldn't have gotten tickets for the Punda.
People just said they had
you know,
or the county commissioner.
The Punda usually comes accompanied.
Yeah. Zachary in Nakuru, good morning.
Oh, happy Mashujaa Day, everyone there.
Happy Mashujaa Day, Zachary.
There?
Oh, I'm happy. Let me say this.
Hey.
I've already written something under your post today.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've recognized the three of you as my heroes today. I'm going to summarize what I've written there, and I know you can see it. That one thing, let me say that I actually celebrated the person who actually came up with the idea of such a radio station. I was actually, I can't do without radio, but BBC has got a right to sue you people and compensate because you actually took away one of their staunch listeners, yeah? The person who came up with the idea of SpiceFM and the mode of operation that you guys do from the situation room, from the other two young people who come there, I think Breda, she's called Breda or who? That's such a name, and Omrioto, yeah?
It's Yolanda.
All the way to Mr. Kwach, formerly the other lady who went.
Yep. Monique.
All the way to the Monique, to the situation room, and not to the adults in the room.
Uh-huh.
Let me say that person deserves an award.
His name is Tom Japani.
Oh, may God bless him. May God bless him. May God bless him. I also like to thank everyone who we do not hear, we don't see the producers, the guys who make sure that we are actually getting the quality that we deserve. And let me tell you this, I do not remember any day that I do not actually mention about SpiceFM to the people I meet, the new people that I meet in my everyday life. I normally talk about the research, our old mzee there, Mr. City Muga, and may God bless him and continue to bless him more. And although I can hear if they say that the marriage is overrated,
I told you.
Zachary,
yeah.
One of the things I love about you is the diverse capacity you have for interpretation.
Oh, sure.
I did not utter any such words, but nonetheless, please tell us about your interpretation and how you arrived at it.
I thought we share the same sentiment. I share the same sentiment with you. And when we go to the men's club, to the men's conference next year, we shall find you. We shall find you. But anyway, let me say this: that SpiceFM is the way to go. It is the future.
Sante.
You have redefined, and also you have shown other fellow journalists that we can be fearless. Actually, you guys have made me bold. I never used to talk openly the way I talk because I had it here. But then I say, if these guys are saying this on radio, you have noted that when I started calling you, I could not mention some names, directly. But now you are bringing me out of that fear. You are showing me that you are a human being and you're supposed to be free and talk your mind.
Be fearless.
Without offending anybody.
Be fearless. Zachary, we also celebrate you as well. You also are a very, very good hero to us because you always contribute to our conversations. You've always been calling in every day. Asante sana.
But let me tell
we don't take it for granted that you actually spare a budget out of your every monthly spending to call in to SpiceFM.
That has to be there. And Mama Isra was trying to say, you are spending. I told her, no. This has to be there because I am patriotic, first of all, and I have to contribute. It is my duty. And the duty comes with a cost. The responsibility has a cost.
Very good. Thank you, Zachary. Let's hear from others as well. Have a good day. Victor in Nairobi, good morning.
Good morning. City, Latiff and Ndu.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, yes. Thank you, guys. I would have loved to celebrate some two people, but unfortunately, they are not alive. One was my father, and the other was my uncle. Yes, but today I choose to celebrate you guys, especially the Situation Room, for the good work that you've been doing all this time. I've been an avid listener since I think around 2019 or so. This station has contributed a lot into, helping people mature into participating in the country's, requirements for building a nation, making people aware of things that are happening and what things have been fixed and what haven't been fixed. We now know also those who are not working, for the nation, especially in the civil service. I think that's where my main interest is. And I appreciate you guys for shining the light and also making it spicy. Yes.
Thank you, Victor.
City, Mr. Weissman, City, Ndu. Ndu, by the way, there's a time I ate some moringa stew in Abuja. I hope one day we can meet and prepare some for the three of you, that is.
Thank you so very much.
Yes. So thank you guys for the job and keep it up.
Thank you very much. And it's also still important to celebrate the memories of your father and your uncle.
Well, yes, that is true.
They are still your heroes.
Yes. Thank you.
Asante sana. Good day. Mwalimu Irongo in Kisii.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Mwalimu.
How are you guys?
We're
Fine, thank you, Mwalimu.
I mean, I don't just love you, I love your voices as well. Let me not overemphasize what has been said about the contribution that you have given to the growth of this country through the studio. And I wish you also to make our listeners aware that apart from the so much education we get in this very program, we also have some other programs, especially in the evening, where we have other people talking about matters of life. I mean, it's a wonderful studio. I must celebrate you guys, all of you.
Asante sana.
Now, allow me to celebrate three people very briefly.
Okay.
And this one reminds me that my good friend Eric, you've never called me. You don't know why I'm insisting that you call me. I'm insisting, please call me.
I will call you now, today, Mwalimu.
Please. Now,
okay.
My life has not been a very good one, but I always remember that my late father saw something in me about doing very well in the future, and I will always celebrate him because at a very early age, he made me very confident. Then my uncle Victor Oukobosire is now a retired soldier. When I actually did very well in Kisii district, which today we call Kisii County, I could not have gone to school. In fact, I was supposed to repeat, and then everybody was saying, no, this guy has done almost on top of the county. But my uncle took me to Rio Kindo High School. So wherever he is, please somebody tell him, Victor Oukobosire, the retired soldier in Itare village, I celebrate you. Finally, sir, allow me to celebrate Kenoti Imanyara. You know, I went to college, a Hodge Teachers Training College. As I told you last time, I started from P1 and then upgraded to degree. That principal, who recently also finished his term as one of the commissioners at the Teachers Service Commission, took keen interest in me because I went there at the age of 30, and he talked to me, telling me that however late in life I had entered the teaching fraternity, I could still make it. One of the things I will remember about him as I conclude, he told me how to take keen interest on those low achievers in the class, and I thank God I am literally good at doing that today. Thank you so much for your space.
Asante sana Mwalimu Irongo. Have a good day. Omar in Kinango, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well.
I want to celebrate quite a number of people very briefly. My late mother with no education, but mopped up everybody around the community to take persons with disability to school. My sister decided not to get married, just to take care of us when mom died. She's still single to date.
Wow.
But she's my heroine. Then I celebrate people in, like, Doshi Charitable Trust paid my fees, Million Foundation, and one lady, Florence Amimu Tatu. She just made sure my story is aired on NTV 2007. And once I could not join KU, she made sure I joined at least a teacher training college. She's my mom. Yeah, then I celebrate Eric Latiff. Those days, the late night report on Capital FM. People in high school used to call me Omar Latiff, actually. I used to give late night reports in the cubes. Yeah, listening to late night report with people like Kinalora or Lubengo those days. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Omar.
Thank you.
Thank you for celebrating your heroes. This is Kenya's biggest conversation. It's the Situation Room. We are opening up the phone lines. Today is Mashujaa Day, and we want to identify Shujaas for you at your personal level, at your community level, at national level. Who is your Shujaa? Who would you like to celebrate? Victor Ochi says, my Shujaa is my grandmother, Rosalia Aholo. May God protect her. Tuned in from Kisumu City. Celebrate your Shujaa this morning. Today I'm celebrating a guy who bailed me out of police last weekend. He doesn't know me, neither do I know him. But he's my true hero. This is Kipchirchir Kirwa Desmond. He says he was in police custody. Somebody came, bailed him out. They don't know one another, but he's appreciating him. Let's keep calling 0719-012-600. We'll pick more of your calls after this quick break. It's 25 minutes to 10.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Spice up your life. 24/7, around the world, non-stop. This is Spice FM.
From 2019, she has stayed with 6 different people. You know, we are saving money. There's no need for him to be renting in this side.
And I'm renting this side.
No.
Yeah.
And sometimes this is an avenue for women to con men. Let me just be very honest with you people. Today we are talking about performing marriage duties while you're still dating. Why are you paying rent and this is not your wife? We need to start holding each other accountable for those people who are dating. Learn to buy your own bed.
The only way to live your best life is to create a balance between work, love, and play. The Adults in the Room is the only show on radio dedicated to educating Kenyans on how they can stay winning in life and in love. Text the word adult to 22840 to get the latest clips from Adults in the Room directly to your mobile phone. SMS adults to 22840.
Okay. Cloudy conditions in Nairobi. We're still seeing some rain in some parts. Currently at 19, highs of 24 and lows of 15 today. It's mostly cloudy in Nakuru at 19, highs of 24 and lows of 15. In Nyeri, rainy conditions at 16 continue, highs of 19 and lows of 5. Eldoret is cloudy this morning at 19, highs of 23 and lows of 14. Mombasa, still raining in some parts. Everybody seems to have gotten the memo today. 30 the high and lows of 24. Light rain in Malindi at 29, highs of 30 and lows of 25. Kisumu, mostly cloudy, leading into rain later, highs of 29 and lows of 20, while in Kakamega it's mostly cloudy at 25, highs of 27 and lows of 15. Heavy thunderstorms now in Kampala at 22, highs of 27 and lows of 19. And in Dar es Salaam, it's raining as well at 26, highs of 31 and lows of 23. Johannesburg is mostly sunny at 13. We'll see lows of 11 and highs of 23, while the rain continues in Lagos at 24 with highs of 30. 24 and rain showers in Kinshasa, highs of 31 and lows of 23, while it's sunny in Beijing at 15. We'll see lows of 2 as they get into winter, highs of 15 today. Paris is raining at 17, highs of 20 and lows of 11, while it's raining as well in London at 16, highs of 18 and lows of 9. And we round things off in New York, coming into Wednesday. Clear conditions at 17, highs of 25 and lows of 14.
Classic soul, R&B, smooth jazz, neo soul, and nostalgic ballads.
Make some noise. Yeah.
You're listening to Spice FM.
While you were away, traffic on Uhuru Highway didn't go away. No, it didn't. There's quite a lot of it still on Uhuru Highway this morning, getting out towards the city from the Bunyad Road roundabout. That still continues to be a sore thumb issue right there. Other parts, not a problem. The birds are flying, the leaves are flapping in the wind. It's a great day. It's also raining, so please be extremely careful because the roads are slippery and we don't want anybody to ram into anybody else, okay? So let's watch out for that. Through the day, there shouldn't be much traffic, but we should be careful all the same. How can you get in touch just in case something goes south? Spice FMKE. Or if it's good, not just bad. Text on 40127.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself.
Okay, 8:20 to 10. This is Kenya's biggest conversation, The Situation Room. Who's your hero this morning? Who are you celebrating? If you look, people are mostly, celebrating somebody who has done something. If you listen to Omar's story, celebrating his mom because of what the mom was doing, not just for the family, but for the community, making sure that people living with disabilities mobilize the community to take those people to school. Yeah, his own sister who decided to halt her own progression and take care of her siblings because after their mom died. People who've done things. Mwalimu Irongo talking about the principal at the teacher training college that he went to, who went ahead to, inspire and do something for.
And the uncle who actually
ensured he went to high school. Mm-hmm. These are people we just, many times you think about, heroes, big. People do small things, do like you said earlier, but they end up meaning a lot in your life. Millicent, happy Mashujaa Day.
Happy Mashujaa Day. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Siti and Ndu.
Yes, good morning, Millicent.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Who's your Shujaa?
Same to you, sister.
Let me start by celebrating my parents. They've been there for me.
Mm-hmm.
I thank God for them.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, let me celebrate my pastor and his family. When I had issues, they stood in for me and they helped me out. I was also to celebrate one, Hal Peters, that was my former boss, who I worked for, and then after some time he saw the need of me going back to school, and that turns out for me. I celebrate him. Last but not least, I want to celebrate the SpiceFM family and the Situation Room in particular, and the evening show of Adults in the Room. I thank the management for the two shows, actually, because those are the ones I'm being able to listen to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, so much. You've touched my life. I've changed. There's a lot of tremendous change that have taken place in my life in terms of how I see issues, how I make decisions, how I manage myself through the two shows. And I'm so proud of you. Long live Spice FM, the Situation Room, the Others in the Room. I love you.
Thank you, Millicent.
Thank you, Millicent.
Have a great day. Have a great day. Jackson in Mtwapa, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you? How is Mtwapa?
Mtwapa is well, but now I'm in Maburi just for some few issues. Then I'm going back to Muthui.
Okay. Who's your hero today, Jackson?
But I have so many heroes, but I'll just mention them briefly.
Yep.
First of all, I will start with my grandmother, Mary Mbago. Yeah, Mary Mbago.
Oh, no, Jackson. Nelson in Nakuru, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Ndu.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
We're
Fine,
very
thank
well,
you.
thanks,
How are
Nelson.
you?
How are you?
I'm fine.
Who's your hero today?
My hero today is, first of all, start from SpiceFM, because I normally listen to the way you handle your discussions in the morning hours, from 6 to 10. And I normally listen to the listening people. It's from 7 to 10 when I'm free.
All right. Who else?
I appreciate my dad. It's called Isaac Mokaya Onyari, and my mom, Josephine Mokaya.
True heroes. Thank you.
Reason as to why, because my mom used to teach us from nursery to standard 8. She really took a hard time to teach us as a teacher in our family.
All right.
Yeah, I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Nelson. Have a good day, and as you celebrate all your heroes.
Okay.
Jackie in Nairobi, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Mashujaa Day.
Happy Mashujaa Day.
I would like to celebrate and appreciate the three of you. You have brought conversations that are thought-provoking and much needed in terms of, bringing out the issues Kenya is facing, and doing it without fear, which I really think is something we need in Kenya. I wish it can be made even bigger and go through to the counties, because the people have opinions. Not everyone can afford to call in and give their opinion.
Yeah.
True.
I also celebrate single mothers. I think single mothers, being one, I know the challenges and also the opportunities of growth that a situation like that presents. And, as much as some may make wrong decisions, sometimes it's out of desperation, but it's being a single mother is a blessing in a big way. And lastly, I would like to celebrate my personal shujas, my father, who not just is a man of integrity in every sense to me. He fought for our country, and in a time when men never used to express their emotional feelings, he was very open-minded and was very open with his love. So he was detained by the colonial regime.
Yep.
And again by the Kenyan one. But despite all that, he had a lot of love. And my mom, who held the fort when he was in detention, and went through a lot of ostracizing. People didn't want to be associated with her. And those days, people, the authorities would break down the door at 3 a.m. and she managed with us.
Wow.
So I really appreciate being associated with them.
Great.
Asante, and have a blessed day.
You too, Jackie.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
Cheers.
Audrey.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Very
morning,
well.
Thank you, Audrey. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Happy Mashujaa Day.
To you,
You
too.
too.
So, first of all, I would like to celebrate my late father. He was my greatest cheerleader from a very tender age. I think I was like 4 or 5. And my father would boast about me to his friends and his relatives. I think at that point I was like his greatest achievement. And I've carried that with me throughout my life. I would like to celebrate my mom, who held the fort when my dad passed. A lot was said when my dad passed, but she didn't care about any of it. She only cared about her children, and she worked to ensure that her children got the best.
Very good.
I would also like to celebrate Mr. Charles Ochome. He is the owner of Golden Elite School, group of schools. Right now it's a group of schools. Yes, when my dad passed, I was in his school. He saw my potential and decided he wasn't going to send me away for free. He took me in, treated me like one of his children, and basically just catered for my entire education in primary. Then I would like to celebrate a couple called Nancy and Rod Van Kaiva. They started a foundation here in Kenya. It's called Education for All Children. They sponsor needy students through high school and university. That is how I completed my education. Yeah.
Heroes among us on a daily basis.
Yes, I would also like to celebrate you guys. You have given me the much needed, I'm not sure what to call it, but I had for a long time looked for a radio station that has genuine conversations, things that are actually happening in our society. And I just met SpiceFM through a clip on Facebook, and I was glad for it. Finally, CP, I would like to celebrate you. The work you have done in the research in HIV and AIDS, I know a couple of people who are my relatives who have benefited from it. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
you,
Audrey.
guys. Have a lovely day.
You too. Let's go to Gishogo. Masira.
Washira Wilfred.
Washira.
Yes.
You're in Gishogo.
I'm in Geshogo today. Kitengela has been too much.
You left Kitengela. And you disappeared for some time. We didn't know what was going on.
Let me tell you something, too. In Kitengela, it got too hot, yeah? And then some guys, I lost my communication gadget, my laptop, my smartphone and everything. So I've been unable to communicate with you. So I'm not lost.
Pole.
I still. Now, my Shujas.
Yes.
I'll start with you guys. Then, of course, there is my late dad. I'm glad that I was his son. I am his son, rather. My family, and then elsewhere I've got my 2 English teachers. Both of them deceased. Sorry for them. And there is also this other one lady who gave me my first job in Nairobi. That was some time back. I was not coming to Nairobi for the first time the other day.
Oh, good, that's cleared up.
There is this lady called Edith Tendo of Agent Petroleum. She gave me my first job, and she just tried me. She gave a job out of kindness, not out of it's just trust, and I perform my best, and I really celebrate her.
Good work. Thank you very much, Wachira. Ukirudi,
thank you so much. Yes.
Utuambie.
Itapitia hapo Standard Group. Na wajua penye mko.
Very good.
I'll not get lost.
Have a good day. Have a good day, Ngeshogo.
Good day.
Asante. Jackson in Mtwapa.
Yes,
no, you said you're not in Mtwapa today. You are somewhere in Bamburi, did you?
Yeah, I'm just somewhere in Bamburi, but in 2 minutes I'll be going back.
Okay. You were telling us who you were celebrating today.
Yeah, I started with my grandmother, Mary Mbago. She really worked hard to make sure that I finish my primary education and make sure that I'm coming back to lunch and get something on time. So I'm really celebrating her as my hero.
Right.
Again, I'm celebrating my head teacher, Mr. Joseph Otieno Modo, who really worked hard when I was almost dropping out in Standard 7. And when he came to school, he was the one who was advising me on how the best education is. And because those who were there were saying that Jackson is stubborn, he told them that this guy you are saying is stubborn is the one who is supposed to be a leader. So Mr. Modo make sure that I was a head boy in Standard 7. I'm heading the whole school.
With all your stubbornness.
Yeah, exactly. So, in fact, Mr. Modo is a teacher who has a trick of convincing a child. And he really made me happy because when I was a head boy, now I need to change my character and be a good person so that those other students will follow the example of a good student.
He beat you at your own game.
Exactly.
Sounds like something City would do.
It does, actually.
So I'm celebrating Mr. Tieno Modo very much. I know for now I think he's in Bondo because he's coming from Bondo. Whoever seen him can just wave for him and tell him Jackson is celebrating him as a hero.
Thank you, Jackson.
And also the entire SpiceFM. I'm celebrating the Tom Japan and the team. Starting from City Muga there, Eric Latiff, Ndu. We go to Yolanda, Amilioto, DJ Absolute. We go to Edward Quach and Monique wherever she went. And also we go to adults. We have Duchess there. We have Karigo and we have Arnold. And also I cannot forget this guy called Eric Omondi, those who start with Duchess in adults. Yeah, he used to give me some issues that he used to speak some words that make me laughing every time. And and he was just telling us the word of Kipol. I think you know where Kipol came from. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jackson.
So I'm really happy with this team. In fact, you are doing a good job in this Kenya. We've never seen such a radio station here in Kenya.
Asante. Have a lovely day as you head back to Mtwapa. Salimia watu wa Kilifi.
Okay, thank you too.
Asante.
Thank you.
Zach from Muranga.
Hello, Spice. Yes, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
My heroes today, I just celebrate some organizations. One is Focus Kenya. Yeah, Focus Kenya has ensured that students in university grow to be morally upright and spiritually nourished. My second group of people I want to celebrate is my primary school teachers or solar primary school teachers. The late George Rega, the late John Philip Onyango, the late Jacob Okos Juma. Those guys, their families, wherever they are, I just appreciate them. I also appreciate my mom. She's been a hero to me since my dad passed on in 1996. She's been very, very instrumental in our lives. And she's brought us, and finally, the Spice crew. From the Situation Room to Adults in the House. Due to job, probably I just listened to those two programs and they're awesome. So to everybody else who's contributing to the welfare of this country and just ensuring that we are where we are and that we are doing better in terms of every other sectors, this morning you are my heroes.
Asante sana.
You're welcome, man. Have a blessed day.
You too. Have a good one. Well, many heroes from many corners, and many people have been touched, at a personal level by strangers who became your teachers, strangers who became your co-workers, family who, held your hand throughout, despite all the many challenges. Many heroes live in our lives every day. City. Mwalimu, you are the kind of teacher who would have done the kind of thing that Jackson...
I did, actually.
You actually did, eh? Okay. So, yeah. Today's proverb?
Anayekueleza kwa wengine, atawaeleza mengine ya kwako.
Ndio.
Ndio? Si ndio?
Ndio.
Sema tena?
Anayekueleza ya wengine, atawaeleza mengine ya kwako.
All right. Thank you very much for all your contributions to the Situation Room today, and celebrating all your heroes and whatever they've done in your life, how they've touched you in your life. Asante sana. As we commemorate Mashujaa Day every year, let's look inwards. Let's look at, and then do something for somebody, not because you expect anything in return, but just because you are able to. If you're in an opportunity and you can do something, just do something. You hear what happens? You actually change somebody's life forever. And you just never know. You could be the angel that was sent to them. Thank you for tuning into the Situation Room today. Tomorrow, Monday, we'll be back here at 6 a.m. The start of a new week.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's my word for the day.
Lovely day. It's 10 o'clock.
Spice up your life.
This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. Wanguru Stadium in Kirinyaga County.
The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM. Only 3,000 Kenyans have been granted access to the grounds after receiving special passes from the government. The number was capped as a way of controlling the spread of COVID-19. Now, as Mashujaa Day celebrations take place today, Kenyans have continued to express themselves on a wide range of issues, with some indicating that they have nothing to celebrate, complaining about the hardships brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. Some are urging President Uhuru Kenyatta to lift the curfew to allow Kenyans continue with their various economic ventures and recover from the losses they've incurred over time. Here are some of the sentiments.
Hii mambo ya curfew tumechoka nayo bwana. Kenya is a 24 hours economy. Watu wanafanya kazi na watu wamelemewa. Money is below 2%. Watu wanahangaika. Wao wanafanya marali, sisi tunazidi kuhangaika. Hiyo nayo ni mbaya. Tunaomba rais wetu Uhuru Kenyatta afungue nchi, watu wafanye kazi.
Sasa siku kama leo mtu ukikaa nyumbani useme ati unakaa nyumbani ili kusherehekea siku kama leo, unapata utaumia peke yako. Inabidi utoke, uende ukatafute ndio uweze kupata at least kitu yenye utakula kesho.
Mimi kama kijana tunaumia. Wakuje tuangalie sisi kama vijana ili tukuje juu kupata kujivunia kuwa taifa la Kenya. Mimi navumilia kuwa Mkenya.
On matters corruption, Kenyans want the vice addressed. Let's listen in.
Mafuta imeenda juu mpaka uchumi umeenda chini, mpaka sasa tuko kasi, tuoni maana ya hii holiday.
Sasa hii nje yenye tunaishi hii, wale watu walipigania tupate uhuru. Lakini sasa hii tuko na uhuru, lakini ile uhuru ndani mwetu hakuna kabisa.
Upande ya corruption ndio kitu ambayo imekuwa donda sugu katika serikali yake. Kama kutakuwa na njia mbadala na mikakati yenye ataweka kabla atoke kwenye hii kiti ya kurudisha rasilimali za nchi ambazo zimeibiwa, hiyo itakuwa kitu kubwa sana na atakuwa hero wa nchi.
Those are some of the views during the Mashujaa Day celebrations. Now, Kenyatta National Hospital is expected to undergo rehabilitation that will take 6 months. The management of the hospital said the main goal was to modernize the hospital with 1,800 beds, as well as attract Kenyans who for years have been seeking medical care in private hospitals. The Kenyan National Highways Authority plans to test out the efficiency and security of the electronic toll collection system present on the Nairobi Expressway. The regulator similarly revealed that it has almost completed the construction of an operation and monitoring center that will make it easier to manage the toll collection system once it becomes operational. The China Road and Bridge Corporation was awarded the tender to construct the 27.1 kilometer stretch of road back in June 2020. Tolls collected from motorists using the expressway will be used to cover arrears owed to the Chinese corporation. The Chinese firm will be in charge of toll collection on the road for the next 3 decades. Motorists using the road will be required to part with anything from 100 shillings to 1,550 shillings, depending on the distance traveled and the size of the vehicle they are using once the expressway becomes operational. Now, residents of Mdune in Kinango, Kwale County have called on the county government to close manufacturing plant in the area. Led by Hamida Isaac, they claim their lives are in danger because of the dangerous fumes released by the factory. Residents said their efforts to seek help from the relevant government authorities have been in vain.
Tulilalamika mpaka idara zote za serikali, tukatuma mabarua, tukapiga masimu, hata Neema tukawatumania barua kuwaelezea vile ambavyo tunaathirika na hii kampuni. Inatoa gas na harufu ambayo ni kali tena sana, hata sisi wenyewe tunashindwa hata kulala.
Yaani ile harufu kisha toka, mwili wangu nasikia tu hali ishangeuka tayari. Inaweza tapika damu, hata pia kukojoa inaweza kukojoa pia damu.
According to residents, the factory has not released a report on environmental impact assessment test.
Hakukuwa na public participation hata kidogo. Tangu ilipoanzishwa kampuni hii, hakujawahi kuletwa hii environmental impact assessment report ili tuweze kuelewa ripoti hii inazungumzia nini madhara na ni hatua gani inapotokea madhara wataweza kusaidia kumitigate hayo madhara.
Tunachotaka ni kwamba serikali ifanye juu chini, lakini hii kampuni iwe itaondoka.
Now, properties of unknown value have been destroyed to ashes following a fire incident that gutted down a dormitory housing 280 students at St. Peter Abwao Secondary School in Suna West, Migori County. School principal Mr. Jackton Ogola said the fire, which began at around 8 p.m., consumed the buildings and the students' personal property, and that efforts to put out the fire were futile and they were not able to salvage any property that was inside the dormitory. No one was injured as the students were in the classrooms for evening preps. The school principal said the cause of the fire has not been established and the school is working closely with other investigative bodies to establish the cause. This is Newswire. Dennis Aseto.
Spice up your life. The golden years on 94.4 Spice FM.